भक्तिसारकुलशेखरयोगिवान् भक्तां त्रिरेणुपरकालयतीन्द्रमिश्रां श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम् पितामहस्यापि पितामहाय प्राचेतसादेशफलप्रदाय श्रीभाष्यकारोत्तमदेशिकाय श्रीशैलपूर्णाय नमो नमस्तात्। शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राद्या पारिषद्या वरस्यतं
विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। नन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। अभङ्गुरकलादान शूललक्ष्यत्वमीयुषे तुङ्गाय महसे तस्मै तुरङ्गाय मुखे नमः। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनिचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिम्। यः पिबन् सततं रामचरितामृतसागरम् अतृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषम्। गोष्पदीकृतवारासिं मशकीकृतराक्षसम् रामायणमहामालारत्नं वन्दे अनिलात्मजम्। अज्ञानानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीसमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम्। आमीशीकृतमार्ताण्डं गोष्पदीकृतसागरं तृणीकृतदशग्रीवम् आञ्जनेयं माम्यहम्। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयोधमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धोः सलिलं सलीलं यशोकवह्निं जनकात्मजायाः आदाय तेनैव ददाह लङ्काम्। नमामि तं प्राञ्जलिराञ्जनेयम् आञ्जनेयमतिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनं। यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम्। वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाचे दशरथात्मजे वेदः प्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना। चरितं रघुनाथस्य शतकोटिप्रविस्तरम् एकैकमक्षरं प्रोक्तं महापातकनाशनम्। शृण्वन् रामायणं भक्त्या यः पादं पदमेव वा स याति ब्रह्मणस्थानं ब्रह्मणा पूज्यते सदा। वाल्मीकिगिरिसम्भूता रामसागरगामिनी पुनाति भुवनं पुण्या रामायणमहानदी। श्लोकसारजलाकीर्णं सर्गकल्लोलसङ्कुलं काण्डग्राहमहामीनं वन्दे रामायणार्णवम्। यः कर्णाञ्जलिसम्पुटैरहरः सम्यक् पिबत्यादरात् वाल्मीकेर्वदनारविन्दगलितं रामायणाख्यं मधु। जन्मव्याधिजराविपत्तिमरणैः अत्यन्तसोपद्रवम् संसारसह विहाय गच्छति पुमान् विष्णोः पदं शाश्वतं तदुपगतसमाससन्धियोगं सममधुरोपनदार्धवाक्यबद्धं रघुवरचरितं मुनिप्रणीतं दशशिरसश्च वधं निशामयध्वम् श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयं सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपम् आजानुबाहुमरविन्ददलायताक्षं रामं निशाचरविनाशकरं नमामि। वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परम् व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम्। ततो यथाशक्ति पौरुषे च प्रतिद्वन्द्वः शरेणं जहिरावणिं तपस्वाध्यायनिरतं तपस्वी वाग्विदाम्बरं नारदं परिपप्रच्छ वाल्मीकिर्मुनिपुङ्गवम्
इति श्लोकद्वयं पठित्वा इत्युक्ता पारायणमारभेत। श्रीरघुनन्दन परब्रह्मणे नमः। परब्रह्मणे नमः।
तपस्वाध्यायनिरतं तपस्वी वाग्विदाम्बरं नारदं परिपप्रच्छ वाल्मीकिर्मुनिपुङ्गवम् कोऽन्वस्मिन् साम्प्रतं लोके गुणवान् कस्य वीर्यवान् धर्मज्ञस्य कृतज्ञस्य सत्यवाक्यो दृढव्रतः चारित्र्येण च को युक्तः सर्वभूतेषु को हितः विद्वान् कः समर्थस्य कस्यैकप्रियदर्शनः आत्मवान् को जितक्रोधो द्युतिमान् को न सूयकः कस्य बिभ्यति देवास्य जातरोषस्य संयुगे एतदिच्छाम्यहं श्रोतुं परं कौतूहलं हि मे महर्षे त्वं समर्थोऽसि ज्ञातुमेवं विधं नरम् त्रिलोकज्ञो वाल्मीकिर्नारदो वचः श्रूयतामिति चामन्त्र्य प्रहृष्टो वाक्यमब्रवीत् बहवो दुर्लभाश्चैव ये त्वया कीर्तिता गुणाः मुने वक्ष्याम्यहं बुद्ध्वा तैर्युक्तः श्रूयतां नरः इक्ष्वाकुवंशप्रभवो रामो नाम जनैः श्रुतः नियतात्मा महावीर्यो द्युतिमान् धृतिमान् वशी बुद्धिमान् नीतिमान् वाग्मी श्रीमान् शत्रुनिवर्हणः विपुलांसो महाबाहुः कम्बुग्रीवो महाहनुः महोरस्को महेश्वासो गूढजत्रुररिन्दमः आजानुबाहुः सुशिराः सुललाटा सुविक्रमः लक्ष्मीवान् शुभलक्षणः धर्मज्ञः सत्यसन्धश्च प्रजानं च हिते रतः यशस्वी ज्ञानसम्पन्नः शुचिर्वस्वसमाधिमान् प्रजापतिः समश्रीमान् धाता रिपुनिषूदनः रक्षिता जीवलोकस्य धर्मस्य परिरक्षिता रक्षिता स्वस्य धर्मस्य स्वजनस्य च रक्षिता वेदवेदाङ्गतत्त्वज्ञो धनुर्वेदे च निष्ठितः सर्वशास्त्रार्थतत्त्वज्ञः श्रुतिमान् प्रतिभानवान् सर्वलोकप्रिया साधुः अधीनात्मा विचक्षणः सर्वदाभिगतः सद्भिः समुद्र इव सिन्धुभिः आर्यः सर्वसमश्चैव सदैकप्रियदर्शनः स च सर्वगुणोपेतः कौसल्यानन्दवर्धनः समुद्र इव गाम्भीर्ये धैर्येण हिमवानिव विष्णुना सदृशो वीर्ये सोमवत्प्रियदर्शनः कालाग्निसदृशः क्रोधे क्षमया पृथिवी समः
धनदेन समस्यागे
सत्ये धर्म इवापरः तमेवं गुणसम्पन्नं रामं सत्यपराक्रमं ज्येष्ठं श्रेष्ठगुणैर्युक्तं प्रियं दशरथसुतं प्रकृतीनां हितैर्युक्तं प्रकृतिप्रियकाम्यया यौवराज्येन संयोक्तुं मैच्छत्प्रीत्या महीपतिः तस्याभिषेकसंभारान् दृष्ट्वा भार्यादकैकयी पूर्वं दत्तवरा देवी वरमेन मयाचिता विवासनं च रामस्य भरतस्याभिषेचनं सुतस्य वचनाच्चैव धर्मपाशेन संयतः विवासयामास सुतं रामं दशरथः प्रियं स जगामवनं वीरः प्रतिज्ञामनुपालयन् पितुर्वचननिर्देशात् कैकेय्या प्रियकारणात् तं व्रजन्तं प्रियो भ्राता लक्ष्मणोऽनुजगामः स्नेहाद्विनयसम्पन्नः सुमित्रानन्दवर्धनः भ्रातरं दयितो भ्रातुः सौभ्रात्रमनुदर्शयन् रामस्य दयिता भार्या नित्यं प्राणसमाहिता जनकस्य कुले जाता देवमायेव निर्मिता सर्वलक्षणसम्पन्ना नारीणामुत्तमावधूः सीताप्यनुगता रामं शिशिनं रोहिणी यथा पौरैरनुगतो दूरं पित्रा दशरथेन च शृङ्गिवेरपुरे सूतं गङ्गाकूले व्यसर्जयत् गुहमासाद्य धर्मात्मा निषादाधिपतिं प्रियं गुहेन सहितो रामो लक्ष्मणेन च सीतया ते वनेन वनं गत्वा नदीस्तीर्त्वा बहूदकाः चित्रकूटमनुप्राप्य भरद्वाजस्य शासनात् रम्यमावसधं कृत्वा रममाणा वनेत्रयः देवगन्धर्वसङ्कासाः तत्र ते न्यवसन् सुखम् चित्रकूटं गते रामे पुत्रशोकातुरस्तदा राजा दशरथः स्वर्गं जगाम विलपन् सुतं मृते तुतुस्मिन् भरतो वसिष्ठप्रमुखैर्द्विजैः नियुज्यमानो राज्याय नैच्छद्राज्यं महाबलः स जगामवनं वीरो रामपादप्रसादकः गत्वा तु स महात्मानं रामं सत्यपराक्रमम् अयाचत् भ्रातरं रामम् आर्यभावपुरस्कृतः त्वमेव राजा धर्मज्ञ इति रामं वचोब्रवीत् रामोऽपि परमोदारः सुमुखः सुमहायसाः नैच्छत्पितुरादेशात् राज्यं रामो महाबलः पादुके चास्य राज्याय न्यासं दत्त्वा पुनः पुनः निवर्तयामास ततो भरतं भरताग्रजः सकाममनवाप्यैव रामपाद उपसृप
नन्दिग्रामे करोद्राज्यं रामागमनकाङ्क्षया गते तु भरते श्रीमान् सत्यसन्धोजितेन्द्रियः रामस्तु पुनरालक्ष्य
नागरस्य जनस्य च तत्रागमनमेकाग्रो दण्डकान् प्रविवेशः प्रविश्य तु महारण्यं रामो राजीवलोचनः विराधं राक्षसं हत्वा शरभङ्गं ददर्शः सुतीक्ष्णं चाप्यगस्यं च अगस्त्य भ्रातरं तदा अगस्त्य वचनाच्चैव जग्राहैन्द्रं सरासनं खड्गं च परमप्रीतः तूणी चाक्षयसायकौ वसतस्तस्य रामस्य वने वनचरैः सह ऋषयोऽभ्यागमन् सर्वे वधायासुररक्षसां सतेषां प्रतिशुश्राव राक्षसानां तथा वने प्रतिज्ञातस्य रामेण वधसंयतिरक्षसां ऋषीणामग्निकल्पानां दण्डकारण्यवासिनां तेन तत्रैव वसता जनस्थाननिवासिनी विरूपिता शूर्पणखा राक्षसी कामरूपिणी ततः शूर्पणखावाक्यात् उद्युक्तात् सर्वराक्षसान् खरं त्रिशिरसं चैव दूषणं चैव राक्षसं निजघानरणे रामः तेषं चैव पदानुगान् वने तस्मिन् निवसता जनस्थाननिवासिनां राक्षसां निहतान्यासन् सहस्राणि 14 ततो ज्ञातिवधं श्रुत्वा रावणः क्रोधमूर्छितः
सहायं परयामास
मारीचं नाम राक्षसं वार्यमाणः सुबहसो मारीचेन स रावणः न विरोधो बलवता क्षमो रावणतेन ते अनादृत्य तु तद्वाक्यं रावणः कालचोदितः जगाम सह मारीचः तस्याश्रमपदं तदा तेन मायाविना दूरम् अपवाह्य नृपात्मजौ जहार भार्यं रामस्य वृद्धं हत्वा जटायुषं वृद्धं च निहतं दृष्ट्वा हृतां श्रुत्वां च मैथिलीं राघवशोकसन्तप्तो विललापाकुलेन्द्रियः ततस्तेनैव शोकेन वृद्धं दग्ध्वा जटायुषं मार्गमाणो वने सीतां राक्षसं सन्ददर्शः कबन्धं नाम रूपेण विकृतं घोरदर्शनं तं निहत्य महाबाहुः ददाह स्वर्गतस्य सः स चास्य कथयामास शबरीं धर्मचारिणीं श्रमणीं धर्मनिपुणाम् अभिगच्छेति राघव सोऽभ्यगच्छन् महातेजाः शबरीं शत्रुसूदनः शबर्या पूजितः सम्यक् रामो दशरथात्मजः पम्पातीरे हनुमता सङ्गतो वानरेणः हनुमत्वचनाच्चैव सुग्रीवेण समागतः
सुग्रीवाय च तत्सर्वं संसद्रामो महाबलः आदितस्तद्यथावृत्तं सीतायाश्च विशेषतः
सुग्रीवस्यापि तत्सर्वं श्रुत्वा रामस्य वानरः चकार सख्यं रामेण प्रीतश्चैवाग्निसाक्षिकं ततो वानरराजेन वैरानुकदनं प्रति रामाय वेदितं सर्वं प्रणया दुःखितेन च प्रतिज्ञातं च रामेण तदा वालिवधं प्रति वालिनस्य बलं तत्र कथयामास वानरः सुग्रीवसङ्कितश्चासीत् नित्यं वीर्येण राघवे राघवप्रत्ययार्धं तु दुन्दुभेः कायमुत्तमं धर्मयामास
सुग्रीवो
महापर्वतसन्निभम् उत्स्मयित्वा महाबाहुः प्रेक्ष्य चास्ति महाबलः पादाङ्गुष्ठेन चिक्षेप सम्पूर्णं दशयोजनं विवेद च पुनः सालान् सप्तैकेन महेशुना गिरिं रसातलं चैव जनयन् प्रत्ययं तदा ततः प्रीतमनास्तेन विश्वस्तसह महाकपिः किष्किन्धां रामसहितो जगाम च गुहां तदा ततो गर्जद्धरिवरः सुग्रीवो हेमपिङ्गळः तेन नादेन महतां निर्जगाम हरीश्वरः अनुमान्य तदा तारां सुग्रीवेण समागताः निजगान च तत्रैनं शरैणकेन राघवः ततः सुग्रीववचनात् हत्वा वालिनमाहवे सुग्रीवमेव तद्राज्ये राघवः प्रत्यपादयत् स च सर्वान् समानीय वानरर्षभः दिशः प्रस्थापयामास दिदृशुश्जनकात्मजाम्
ततो गृध्रस्य वचनात्
सम्पातेर्हनुमान् बली शतयोजनविस्तीर्णं कुप्लवेलवनार्णवम् तत्र लङ्कां समासाद्य पुरीं रावणपालिताम् ददर्श सीतां ध्यायन्तीम् अशोकवनिकां गताम् निवेदयित्वा विज्ञानं प्रवृत्तिं च निवेद्य च समाश्वास्य च वैदेहीं मर्दयामास तोरणम् पञ्चसेनाग्रगान् हत्वा सप्तमन्त्रिसुतानपि सूरमक्षं च निःशिष्य ग्रहणं समुपागमत् आत्मानं ज्ञात्वा पैतामहात्वरात् मर्शयन् राक्षसान् वीरो यन्त्रिणस्तान् यदृच्छया ततो दग्ध्वा पुरीं लङ्कां ऋते सीतां च मैथिलीम् रामाय प्रियमाख्यातुं पुनरायन् महाकपिः सोऽभिगम्य महात्मानं कृत्वा रामं प्रदक्षिणम् न्यवेदयत् अमेयात्मा दृष्टा सीतेति तत्त्वतः ततः सुग्रीवसहितो गत्वा तीरं महोदधेः समुद्रं क्षोभयामास शरैरादित्यसन्निभैः दर्शयामास चात्मानं समुद्रसरितां पतिः समुद्रवचनाच्छैव नलं सेतुमकारयत् तेन गत्वा पुरीं लङ्कां हत्वा रावणमाहवे रामः सीतामनुप्राप्य परां क्रीडामुपागमत् तामुवाच ततो रामः परुषं जनसंसदि अमृष्यमाना सा सीता विवेशज्वलनं सती ततोऽग्निवचनात् सीतां ज्ञात्वा विगतकल्मषाम् बभौ रामः सम्प्रहृष्टः पूजितः सर्वदेवतैः कर्मणा तेन महता त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरम् सदेवर्षिगणं तुष्यं राघवस्य महात्मनः अभिषिच्य च लङ्कायां राक्षसेन्द्रं विभीषणम् कृतकृत्यस्तदा रामो विज्वरः प्रमोदः देवताभ्यो वरं प्राप्य समुत्थाप्य च वानरान् अयोध्यां प्रस्थितो रामः पुष्पकेण सुहृद्भृतः भरद्वाजाश्रमं गत्वा रामः सत्यपराक्रमः शान्तिकं रामो हनुमन्तं व्यसर्जयत् पुनराख्यायिकां जल्पन् सुग्रीवसहितश्च सः पुष्पकं तत्समारुह्य नन्दिग्रामं ययौ तदा नन्दिग्रामे जटान् हित्वा भ्रातृभिः सहितो नगः रामः सीतामनुप्राप्य राज्यं पुनरवाप्तवान् प्रहृष्टोमुदितो लोकः तुष्टः पुष्टसुधार्मिकः निरामयो ह्यरोगस्य दुर्भिक्षभयवर्जितः न पुत्रमरणं किञ्चित् रक्षन्ति पुरुषाः क्वचित् नार्यश्चाविधवा नित्यं भविष्यन्ति पतिव्रताः न चाग्निजं भयं किञ्चित् नाप्सु मज्जन्ति जन्तवः न वातजं भयं किञ्चित् नापि ज्वरकृतं तदा न चापि क्षुद्भयं तत्र न तस्करभयं तदा नगराणि च राष्ट्राणि धनधान्युतानि च
नित्यं प्रमुदिताः सर्वे यथा कृतयुगे तथा
अश्वमेधशते विश्वा तथा सुवर्णकैः गवां कोट्ययुतं दत्त्वा ब्रह्मलोकं प्रयास्यति असङ्ख्येयं धनं दत्त्वा ब्राह्मणेभ्यो महायशाः राजवंशान् शतगुणान् स्थापयिष्यति राघवः चातुर्वर्ण्यं च लोकेऽस्मिन् स्वे स्वे धर्मे नियोक्ष्यति दशवर्षसहस्राणि दशवर्षशतानि च रामो राज्यमुपाश्रित्वा ब्रह्मलोकं प्रयास्यति
दशवर्षसहस्राणि
दशवर्षशतानि च रामो राज्यमुपाश्रित्वा ब्रह्मलोकं प्रयास्यति इदं पवित्रं पापघ्नं पुण्यं वेदैश्च संहितं यः पठेत् रामचरितं सर्वपापैः प्रमुच्यते एतदाख्यानमायुष्यं पठन् रामायणं नरः सपुत्रपौत्रसगणः प्रेत्य स्वर्गे महीयते पठन् द्विजो वाग्वृषभत्वमीयात् स्यात् क्षत्रियो भूमिपतित्वमीयात् वणिज्जनः कन्यफलत्वमीयात् जनस्य शूद्रोऽपि महत्त्वमीयात्
पठन् द्विजो वाग्वृषभत्वमीयात्
स्यात् क्षत्रियो भूमिपतित्वमीयात् वणिज्जनः कन्यफलत्वमीयात् जनस्य शूद्रोऽपि महत्त्वमीयात् इत्यार्थे श्रीमद्रामायणे वाल्मीकीये आदिकाव्ये बालकाण्डे श्रीरामायणकथा संक्षेपो नाम प्रथमसर्गः। आख्यानं भद्रमस्तु वः प्रव्याहरत विश्रब्दं बलं विष्णो प्रवर्धताम्
बलं विष्णो प्रवर्धताम् बलं विष्णो प्रवर्धताम्
लाभस्तेषां जयस्तेषां कुतस्तेषां पराभवः येषामिन्दीवरस्यामो हृदये सुप्रतिष्ठितः काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः कावेरी वर्धतां काले काले वर्षतु वासवः श्रीरङ्गनादो जेतु श्रीरङ्गश्रीश्च वर्धताम् स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्य परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः स्वमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु मङ्गलं कौसलेन्द्राय महनीय गुणाब्धये चक्रवर्तितनूजाय सार्वभौमाय मङ्गलम् वेद वेदांत
वेदांतनंदन परब्रह्मणे नमः। बोलो श्री रामचंद्र प्रभु की जय। सीता लक्ष्मण हनुमत समेत श्री रामचंद्र प्रभु की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
राम लक्ष्मण जानकी
जय बोलो हनुमान की।
So we just recited Sankshepa Ramayanam, Sankshipta Ramayanam. These are the first 100 shlokas of Sri Ramayanam. And the very first shlokas, it is the Adi Kavyam. Okay, being born in the country, Bharat, we all have this thing of learning that very first shloka of Sri Ramayanam. Tapasvadhyaya niratam, tapasvi vagvidamvaram, naradam paripapracha, Valmikir munipumgavam. Okay, everybody go home, make sure you memorize this shloka. Okay, this is like most important thing that we have to know. Then why we have recited is because usually we recite the 10 days of Vasanta Navaratri, 9 days. We usually recite the entire Sri Ramayanam. But because we are so busy, we will not have time to recite. So these are the, like any book that we read, right? There is a synopsis in the beginning. What are the contents in it and everything, right? So Valmiki Bhagavan has given, has asked Narada Maharshi, you know, who is this? Konvasmin Sampratam Loke. In this loka, Gunavan, Kasya Viryavan, Dharmagnascha, Krutagnascha, all the 16 qualities he asks. Who has these qualities? Why we should know Rama qualities? Is because we have to apply them in our own lives. And in listening to one of the Upanyasams, I heard this. He is a Adarsha Purusha. Why is he Adarsha Purusha and why we have to follow him is because when we look into our mirrors, right, we get a little darshanam of ourselves. Then our darshanam is very crooked. We know what lies we have told and what on, you know, whether we have been honest or not, lot of things, right? But once you think of the Adarsha Purusha, that darshanam of the, you know, the Parama Purusha has, and Rama is the essence of all these 16 qualities. So think of all the 16 qualities and meditate on them while we do Kalyanam today. And these first 100 shlokas is the essence of entire Ramayanam. So you got the phalam of reading the entire Ramayanam by doing just these 100 shlokas. So give yourself a big round of applause.
Great. So those of you who are willing to sponsor today's Kalyanam, please go at the front. that Damodar Prasad Prabhu is there. And just you need to write your name, Gotram, and write the checks payable to Vedic Cultural Center. So thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Dhanyosmi, all may Lord Sri Ramachandra, Sita Devi, Mata Sita Devi's blessings be with all the children, adults who have kind of, I would say, mastered Sangshepa Ramayanam in the last 1 month, and they were able to recite beautifully. Again, as Lavanya Mataji said, why we do that, we just need to reflect on every time we perform a Kalyana Mahotsavam. We reflect upon who we are, what we are, why we have married, what is the significance of marriage, and so on. They did demonstrate a lot of the qualities, a lot of the responsibilities, I would say that one, are a lot of the ways that we can address marriage is not just a thing, right? It's a work, it is a tapasya, it is a penance, we call it as. That's where what happens before marriage is totally different. Marriage means you are entering into tapasya. That's why Krishna Paramatma always says, right, in Bhagavad Gita or in Srimad Bhagavatam, and all our Guru Charyas also they say that when you are in the Gruhastama Dharmam, Sri Krishna Paramatma, let's take for example, he is called Anadi Brahmacharine Namaha. Wonder, he has 16,000 plus 8 so-called, wives to call them, right, in English terms. But in Sanatana Dharma Sanskritam, the reference is different. How could he be, brahmachari? It means dharmam. There is a dharma that you have to do, being as a husband and a wife and so on, that qualifies you to become a brahmachari. So brahmacharyam can be observed by being even in married life also. So again, it's a long explanation. Means there are duties, responsibilities, commitments, oaths. We call it as a 4 or 7 steps. So all those steps, they signify a lot. You can scoot forward. No problem. Be into the front as much as possible. We will find a way. All right. Now we can be quiet, please. That would be great. So it's an upper between with Ayla. Just a little oil so that 2 people can cut. Yeah. Where you can see that camera, right? If you are on this side of the camera, that side of the camera, that's great. That's all we need. And we will ask you as we need some more room. So, those are the, this is an opportunity. That's the reason why we do the Kalyana Mahotsavam. And second thing, as I mentioned, so that we can have the blessings of divinities. Without their blessings, we will not be able to do anything at all. Right? So, that whether we understand or not, Sanatana Dharma is very, very difficult to understand. But there is also easy way too. If it is too much, too complicated, don't worry about Sarvadharman Parityajya. He has given one slokam, Krishna Paramatma. That itself is good. Don't worry about it. Don't try to understand it. It might, it takes a huge amount of time and effort and energy to be able to even scrape the surface of Sanatana Dharma. Some people even ask, they may not fit in actually current context. Because you don't understand, it doesn't mean that it doesn't make any sense. Our acharyas, gurus have already done the upasana. They meditated upon Sriman Narayana, Krishna Paramatma, and they learn. They always got all the information. That's why they filtered the information and gave it to us so that we can be able to practice. That's why in Guru Parampara we say, just follow the gurus. Don't worry about anything else. They told you, just follow them. But in the modern context, what do? We say, I have this question. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense because we have hypothetically I'm saying, okay, 1 terabyte of brain. Let's take for example, Sanatana Dharma is a billion trillion terabytes of information. What happens if you load 2 terabytes of information on the computer? It crashes, right? We cannot understand that one that easily. That's why you have to approach a qualified, bona fide guru who can be able to filter that information, and you do the sadhana, you will get it. So that's why one of the ways this marriage is actually one of the very, very important pillars of our life, of the society. And the values are the most important. When our values are shaky, they're not strong, the marriage or the family life collapses. That's why we need to have those values. Where do you get those from? Ramayana. Srimad Ramayanam. That's what it is. It is a roadmap, we call it as a Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. They're all roadmaps for us so that we can be able to go from point A to point B. However, we have traffic lights, yellow lines, white lines, double lanes, HOI lanes. That's how all our scriptures are, nothing else. I mean, more than that, but I'm saying, if you wanted to understand in simple way, just follow them. Then you see the effect of it. Adiyan has been in the community for the last 22 years. I can see the effects of it, how these children, Prajna children, and in our Vedic Cultural Center, how many children are learning all these scriptures, information, Bhagavad Gita, slokas and so on. The way you look at their life, how they are able to lead their life, either high school, college, university and so on. Phenomenal. Because they got that kind of a foundation. When Adiyan, I mean me, I would say that one we'll say that in Sampradayam we say Adiyan means I'm a humble servant of Sriman Narayana. So when we encounter a problem, like a parent or somebody else who's going through some difficult times, then I asked them the first question, do you have any religion or faith in your home? Usually sometimes they say, no, we don't have any values. No wonder, why the whole, the children, the way that they are doing, either high school, college, whatever that may be, it's so shaky because they have nothing to lean on to. There are no poles, no support system. English education system doesn't give solutions. Always I say that one. You cannot find all the answers by going to Google, Wikipedia, or ask Alexa. Alexa, I have a marriage problem. Can you answer me? She's not going to answer, right? Because can answer, but it's only Wikipedia answer or something like that. That doesn't help. Where do you go? See how Sita Ramachandra Prabhu has treated Sita Amavaru, how their relationship has been, how they have been respectfully suggesting, taking ideas, supporting, following, leadership, and you name it. All those kind of qualities can be drawn from Ramayana. That's why they say that one, as long as there is a Ramayana, Sanatana Dharma will continue to be there, which will be forever. That is for sure. So that is actually the pillar that we can hold on to. So what we have done, why children are doing Sanatana, Sakshepa Ramayana Kalakshepam, Parayanam, and we just finished Vishwaksena Aradhana, who we invited. Oh Vishwaksena, please make sure everything goes smoothly without obstacles and so on. Those are the rituals. Then Punyaha Vachanam, Kalasha Puja we call it as, means Mantapa Shuddhyartanta, Antakarana Shuddhyartanta, Sharira Shuddhyartanta. This Shariram with which we are performing the Kalyana Mahotsavam is not qualified enough at all to be able to do Bhagavat Aradhanam. So what do we say? Thank you, Bhagavan. So we invited Kaveri, Tungabhadra, Krishna Veni, Chakadimi, Bhagirathi, Vikhyata, Panchaganga, Prakirtitaha, all the Nadi Dilas, Prokshanam. We did the Prokshanam to you all. We are all Shuddhi because we need that Antakarana Shuddhi. Internal purification is also needed for us too. That's why we do the Kalash Puja. We did that one. And we also Rakshasutra Dharana. So we are going to have the Rakshasutra Dharana often. These are all the steps. Why they do that one there? So that it's Kankana Dharana, means Rakshasutra Dharanam is a commitment, an oath, and you are saying that one, I want to be, or I choose to be in this marriage, in this relationship, holy sacred relationship. For that I'm going to take all the rituals that are going to take place in regular Kalyanam, 3 days probably, right? Here, just a couple of hours. Afterwards, you can have that one. That's a reminder for that. the energy, all the energy that comes from the kalasham everywhere else would contain within my body, so that I can be able to think properly, I can be able to do my duties properly, and so forth. That's why every time we do the kankana dharanam and so on too. Okay, so that's what we have done right now, and Yajnopavita puja also has been done, because we are going to offer Yajnopavita in few minutes time and so on. Now it is called Kanyadanam. Often what happens, right, again, this is the practice. Often nowadays it is not happening, right, but in olden days what you used to do, it not that much happening. Kanyavaranam, searching for a groom, right? I perform a lot of marriages in the community. So first of all they come and they say that one, Prabhu, we just wanted to, can you take away that Kanyadanam out? They want Kanyadanam step out. Why they say that one? Kanya means you are giving the bride away. Little translation, right? Dictionary translation. I don't want to be given away. I'm not a commodity. Yes, you are not a commodity. Then let's go and sit down for a coffee and talk about it. I'll explain the whole process. Then say we want Kanyadanam.
I have a quick question.
Right? Kanyadanam is most important. They choose it. It's because understanding of it. So Kanyavaranam, searching the groom. Why we wanted to search? It's compatibility, simple common sense. Saying that one, your food habits, your home habit, the culture, tradition, who do you worship? Someone is worshipping Lord Shiva, someone is worshipping Lord Rama. There is a conflict, Rama is greater than Shiva, and someone says Shiva is greater than Rama. You have your own puja gruham, you have your own puja gruham. There is always a conflict, right? So, I'm just giving hypothetically that those kind of conflicts do happen in home. So what do we do? Who do you worship? What are your food habits? What are your cultures? What language do you speak? As it is, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, right? Something like that. No offense at all, right? We talk about it. Marriage is something you are talking two different languages. Doesn't matter. You come from Telugu, Tamil, English, Hindi, whatever that may be. What happens is you are speaking two different languages, French and Latin all the time. Communication is critical. I know. Yes, thank you. So that's why we are asking 3 generations. They are checking 3 generations of people, like families, looking that one, which generation you belong to, which family you belong to, so that we can find the right groom for our bride. So we are inviting elderly people here, and because they have the knowledge, they have the wisdom, they have the background experience and so on, so that they can be able to go and search a wonderful groom for Sita Devi. And we'll invite we'll invite this elderly. Thanks for inviting. Cheers. Yeah. Ayya. Mama. Mama. Sir. Sir. Prabhuji. Can you come up once here? Is it possible? Sir. Sir. Meera sir. Gauru. Jagan. Kadamundar. Om prasagmanta divasanasya sakshanivarye virvaraganam abhishuprasidataha. Okanishogani. अस्माकमिन्द्र उभयं विशुषोदति यत् सौम्या सन्धो बुबोदति अन्रुक्षरार्चपतु सन्तेयाभिसकायन्ति नो वरेयं समर्यमासं भगो नो नियेत् संज्ञात् सेमस्तु देवाः. So these are all the community elderly people. As you can say, you recognize all of them, right? They are going to go and find a wonderful husband for Sita Mahadevi. And before they go, and they are talking about how do we know what kind of a girl you have. Want to know a little bit of details about Sita Mata, your daughter, so that we can go and explain, hey, we are the representative of this Kanyadata, the father of Sita Mahadevi, and these are her qualities. Chitsagarparyanango brahmanebhya shubham bhavatu angirasa ayasya gautamatrayarche pravaran vidangirasa gotrodbhavasya swarnaroma rajavarmano naptri. So, great grandfather of Sita Mahadevi, Swarna Roma Rajavarmana. Chisagar Parindan go Brahmani Shubham Bhavatu Angirasa Yasya Gautamatrayarcha Pravanatangirasa Gotrod Bhavasya Gotrod Hrasva Roma Sharmana Maharajavarmana Pautri, granddaughter of Hrasva Roma Maharajavarmana. These are the lineages. If you talk about all these Chakravartis, we have done a wonderful way of ruling the people. So they have a charitra, means how they don't. No lying, no cheating, and taking care of their people very well, and so on, and making sure their children are happy in the country, and so on too. So every Raja Maharaja has a history, has a background. Sagar Panango Brahmane Bishubam Botu Angirasa Ayasa Gautamatrasha Pravanandangira Gotrod Bhavasya Swarnaromaha Sakshat Angirasa Grotor Bhavi Sakshat Lakshmi Swarupinem Sita Devi Namnim Imam Kanyam. So this particular Kanya belongs to this particular lineage is what we are seeking the groom for. So, sir, please go either this way or this way. I think probably this being the, I think let's go to the east side, west, east, both sides we can go. So either way is fine. You can just go all the way and look for a wonderful husband for Sita Mahadevi and bring back with some kind of a message for us. Whether you found him or not, what kind of qualities and so on, I'm sure you will, right? And these are all your, as I said that one, on the way to take care of yourself, maybe the TADA, snacks, food, snacks and everything else. Okay? Yes, please. Thank you. So when they say, again, that is what actually the way of actually looking at it. Because elderly people, this is where the wisdom that comes from, the experience come from when you are looking for them. Sounds good and so on. Like, you know, he has good qualities, good communication skills, way talk, way communicate, way help each other or support each other. Like interview, right? When you do an interview, you will get to know that particular person, how that he or she is, right? So that's exactly what they do it. And I want all of you to come back here afterwards, okay? And you found someone, right? So don't disappear because we are all waiting here, okay? Prabhu, did they find them? Haribol, right? Yes. Big round of applause, please, for them. Yes. They went all the way here. And I got, oh, in Sita Devi too. Prabhu, Harivilas Prabhu, found Sita Devi too. Yes, both of them they found too. Yes, there we go. So, Ramachandra Prabhu, what's his name, Prabhu? Who was the groom?
The groom.
Yeah.
It's Lord Ramachandra.
Lord Ramachandra Prabhu. Okay, that's great. Yeah. The qualities, probably I know you told me already. I got already information. I'm just going to read all the qualities of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu and so on. Chasagar Parindango Brahmanebhya Shubham Bhavatu Vasistha Maitra Varuna. Vasistha Maitra Varuna. Always Trayan Reshaya. 3 rishis are in charge of that particular, or in the sense, they for that particular lineage or kutumbam we call it as, okay? They always worship, and as well as worship always take the guidance from 3 rishis, sages. Kaundinyasya Trayarshaya Pravaranmita Vasishta Gotrodbhavasya Vasishta Gotram Nabhaga Maharajavarmano Naptre. Nabhaga Rajavarmana is a great grandfather. Chasagar Varango Brahmanebhya Shubham Bhavatu Vasishta Maitra Varana Kaundintransya Pravaranmita Gotrodbhavasya Aja Maharajavarmanaha Pautraya. Grandfather is Aja Maharajavarmanaha. Chasagar Parandango Brahmanebhya Shubham Bhavatu Vasishta Maitra Varana Kaundintransya Pravaranmita Gotrodbhavasya Gotrodbhavaya Sri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Varaya. So Dasharatha Maharaja Putrasya. So Dasharatha Maharaja's son is Ramachandra Prabhu, is what our elderly people have found. And thank you so much for finding wonderful husband. And they have done their research. It's all accepted, right? So I'm sure Janaka Maharaja also have accepted. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Plus you can leave or you can keep them. That's fine. No problem. Gotrodbhavasya. Okay. Ayya మనం తీసుకొని పోవాలి. సో ఓకే, అక్కడ పెట్టండి, తర్వాత మనం మళ్ళీ ఆఫర్ చేద్దాం. ఓకే, అదవరకు అందరికి ఇవ్వడానికే.
జై శ్రీరామ్.
జై శ్రీరామ్.
జై శ్రీరామ్.
ఓకే, సోమవారం తీసుకెళ్తారు. So all the conversations and the information has been sent and everything else has happened. Now Ramachandra Prabhu, the groom's party is coming into the Kalyana Mandapam, and they are escorted by Veda Panditas or knowledgeable people. I would say that one, all the community members and so on. That's what we are doing. So while we are making arrangements, a few of you, I don't want all of you to get up, but a few of you can accompany them if you want. మీరు వెళ్తారా? కొన్ని పుష్పాలు అవన్నీ తీసుకొని సోమవారం కొంచెం. Yeah, నేను చేస్తాను. I'm just going to. So I just want these people over here to move like that slightly, and we'll walk from inside. Yeah, just a little bit back. This should be okay. It నుంచి వెళ్దాం. Yeah, that's it. వాటితో పాటు పుష్పాలు ఫలాలు తీసుకుని పళ్ళు కూడా అవును అక్కడ ఉన్నాయా అమ్మా? అక్కడ ఒక నలుగురు తీసుకొని టేక్ సమ్ ఫ్రూట్ ట్రేస్ ఆర్ ఫ్లవర్ ట్రేస్, గో అలాంగ్ విత్ ద కంపెనీ విత్ రామచంద్ర ప్రభు. జస్ట్ అ ఫ్యూ, నాట్ మనీ. వెళ్ళండి, తీసుకెళ్ళండి. సోమవారం ఫస్ట్ సోమవారం.
అది ఎందుకా అది పైన అదే తెరపడుతుంది. యా ఓకే ఇద్దరిని ఒకటేసారి తీసుకొస్తారంట. ఫస్ట్ గాడి జస్ట్ శ్రీకాంత్ గారు కమ్ ఓవర్ హియర్. చామరం, థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. చామరం ఎవరున్నారా? చామరానికి అక్కర్లే, ఇంకోటి తీసుకురండి, మీరేండి ఇక్కడ నుంచి. మీరు అక్కడే ఉండండి అమ్మా, స్టే ఓవర్ దేర్ ప్లీజ్. రమేష్ గారు స్టే హియర్. పైన పట్టడానికి Soin, go all the way to the lift or something like that, and the library area, you can go all the way there, and you can from here. Ostunar, there is a step. Hold it. Yeah. Go all the way to the library. When you enter, I'll tell you. So this we call it as a Bharat, right? Right? So that's what it is. They are supposed to be coming in. Oh yeah, okay. Just a little bit back slightly so that we have enough room, and yeah, that would be perfect. Or you can come scoot down here too. Yeah. Alanga, they have enough room. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. So the children have put together, Prajna students have put together a nice display of the whole entire Ramayana in the library. So afterwards, please take a look at it. Sorry? Okay. Go ahead, Amma.
चरिकगारार हे रामचंद्र चरिकगारार हे रामचंद्र चरिकगारार हे रामचंद्र चरिकगारार हे सुगुण सांद्र चरिकगारार हे रामचंद्र चरिकगारार हे सुगुण सांद्र चरिकगारार पच्चविल तूनी कन्ना 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 पालित सुरेंद्र चरिकगारार हे रामचंद्र चरिकगारार हे सुगुण सांद्र चरिकगारार नीनु जुंडवच्चु भगिनी करंडू चिलुक मनसुरंजनी महिमలను బలుక నీను ఉండవచ్చు భగిని కరంబు చిలుక మనసురంజని మహిమలను బలుక నిలువాసులల్ల విరులను జాలగిలుక నిలువాసులల్ల విరులను జాలగిలుక త్యాగరాజు ఘన త్యాగరాజు కనుకోనమోదు గురుక హెచ్చరికగారా ఘన త్యాగరాజు కనుకోనమోదు గురుక హెచ్చరికగారా హే రామచంద్ర హెచ్చరికగారా హే సుగుణ సాంద్ర హెచ్చరికగారా హే రామచంద్ర హెచ్చరికగారా హే సుగుణ సాంద్ర హెచ్చరికగారా రామ రామ
Thank you, Akshara. It's a very beautiful song. Tyagaraja Swami has composed for Sri Ramachandra. Hecharikaga Rara. So Tyagaraja Swami is telling, gently come into the, he's welcoming him gently because Tyagaraja Swami's Mandiram, the place he worships, has a very low, what do we call it? Gadapa, Paina, Gummam Chala, Kindakundi. It's kind of a low. So he's telling, make sure you come because he's Ajanubahu, he's his hands are so long, which means he's so tall, about 8 feet. That's what Rama's supposedly tall to be. So he's asking him to gently walk in so that he doesn't hit his crown or his head on the top of the threshold. So that is a beautiful song that we are welcoming. So those of you who do not understand the lyrics, we thought we'll share a little bit of the relevance of the song. There are a few more songs that they're going to sing and we will share the relevance with you.
So Ramachandra Prabhu, once the groom and the party that comes, we offered Argyapadya Achamana Upacharas, making sure they had a relaxed and shape, had the snanam and all that stuff. Then afterwards we offered a madhuparkam. We called madhuvataya ruteksharanda sindhavamadhi na santoshati manadaktapato madhupartakam madhamadar dorasrapata madhuvanna madhumagam surya madhvir gavo bhavantunaha madhu madhu madhu. That means madhuparkam is kind of a drink, we call it as, coffee or drink nowadays, right? But in olden days they used to be more health conscious and so on. Appropriate thing is give always milk with tene or honey and sugar and so on to Sita Maya. So and what we have done is Argyapadya Achamaniyam and Upacharam and for the madhuparkam to Swamiji, and they are relaxing now and waiting for Amavaru, the bride, to come into the Ana Mandapam. Again, always happens with a little bit of a fanfare and are in the midst of Veda Suktam, Mantram. Valaki mana song unda leda Ammavari song? Ammavari paina mana song unda? Ammavari paina edaina parledu. Unda? Okay. Later mantram cheptanu. Om Hiranyavarnam Harinim Suvarnarajatatsrajam Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmim Jatavedo Maavaha Tam Maavaha Jatavedo Lakshmi Manapagamini Hasyam Hiranyam Vindeyam Gamashvam Purushanaham Ashvapurvam Ratamadhyam Hasinada Prabodini Sriyam Ivi Mupakvaye. Okay. Maswan, tere irka. Tere irka.
చక్కెరమోవికి చాంగుభళ చక్కని తల్లికి చాంగుభళ తన చక్కెరమోవికి చాంగుభళ చక్కని తల్లికి చాంగుభళ కులికెడి మురిపెపు కుమ్మరింపు తన సలువు చూపులకు చాంగుభళ కులికెడి మురిపెపు కుమ్మరింపు తన సలువు చూపులకు చాంగుభళ పలుకుల సొనపుల పతితో గజరడి చలముల ఎలుకకు చాంగుభళ పలుకుల సొలపుల పతితో గజరడి చలముల ఎలుకకు చాంగుభళ చక్కని తల్లికి చాంగుభళ తన చక్కెర చక్కని తల్లికి చాంగుబళ కిన్నెరతో పడికలన నిలుచు తన చంటు మెరుగులకు చాంగుబళ కిన్నెరతో పతికలన నిలుచు తన చన్ను మెరుగులకు చాంగుబళ ఉన్నతి బతిపై నొరకై నిలుచన
Come slowly, no rush. A lot of people are there.
ఉన్నటి పతిపై
They are
నొరకై
waiting.
నిలుచు తన సన్నపు నడిమికి చాంగుబళ చక్కని తల్లికి చాంగుబళ తన చక్కెర మోవికి చాంగుబళ చక్కని తల్లికి చాంగుబళ జందపు ముత్యపు సరుల హారముల చందన గంధికి చాంగుబళ జందపు ముత్యపు సరుల హారముల చందన గంధికి చాంగుబళ వింతై వేకట విభుపైన చినతన సంధి దండలకు చాంగుబళ వింతై వేకట విభుపైన చినతన సంధి దండలకు చాంగుబళ చక్కని తల్లికి చాంగుబళ తన చక్కెర మోవికి చాంగుబళ చక్కని తల్లికి చాంగుబళ తన చక్కెర మోవికి చాంగుబళ చక్కని తల్లికి చాంగుబళ చక్కని తల్లికి చాంగుబళ చక్కని తల్లికి చాంగుబళ చాంగుబళ భళ భళ భళ
ताम आवह जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं विन्देयं गामश्वं पुरुषानहम् अश्वपूर्वामृतमध्यां हस्यनादप्रबोधिनीं श्रियं देवीमुपक्वये श्रीर्मा देवीर्जुषतां कांसोऽस्मितां हिरण्यप्राकारामार्द्रां ज्वलन्तीं तृप्तां तर्पयन्तीं पद्मे स्थितां पद्मवर्णां तामिहोपक्वये श्रियं चन्द्रां प्रभासां मिससा ज्वलन्तीं श्रियं लोके देवजुष्टामुदारां तां पद्मिनीमीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये अलक्ष्मीर्मेनस्य तां त्वां वृणे आदित्यवर्णे तपसोऽधि जातो वनस्पतिस्तव वृक्षोत बिल्वः तस्य फलानि तपसानुदन्तु मायान्तरायाश्च बाह्या अलक्ष्मीः उपैतु मां देवसखः कीर्तिश्रमणिना सह प्रादुर्भूतोऽस्मि राष्ट्रेऽस्मिन् कीर्तिमृद्धिं ददातु मे क्षुद्विपासामलक्ष्मीर्नाशयाम्यहम् अभूतिमसमृद्धिं च सर्वान्निर्नद मे गृहात् गन्धद्वारां दुरादर्श्यां नित्यपुष्टां करीषिणीम् ईश्वरीकुं सर्वभूतानां तामिहोपक्वये श्रियं मनसः काममाकूतिं वाचः सत्यमशीमहि पशूनां रूपमन्नस्य मयि श्रीश्रयतां यशः आतिरतिस्कुणि कर्दमेन प्रजाभूता मयि सम्भव कर्दमा श्रियं वासय मे कुले मातरं पद्ममालिनीम् आपसृजन्तु सिग्धानि चिक्लितपसमे गृहे निजदेवीं मातरं श्रियं वासय मे कुले आर्द्रां पुष्करणीं पुष्टिं पिङ्गलां पद्ममालिनीं चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवे मम आवह आर्द्रां यक्कर्णीं यष्टीं सुवर्णां हेममालिनीं यां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो म आवह तां म आवह जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं प्रभूतं गावो दास्योश्वान् विन्देयं पुरुषानहम् पद्मप्रिये पद्मिनि पद्महस्ते पद्मालये पद्मदलायताक्षी विश्वप्रिये विष्णुमनोनुकूले तत्पादपद्मं मयि सन्निधत्वा श्रियै जातश्रिय आनिर्याय पैन्दफुळि श्रियं वयोचरितृभ्यो ददातु श्रींवसाना अमृतत्वमायान् भवन्ति सत्यासमितामिदद्योनो श्रिये वयनं तत्श्रियामा ददाति सन्ततमृता षट्कृतं सन्दत्तं सन्दीयते प्रजया पशुभिः एवं वेद उपनिषत् ओम फुल्येण तगवलंटे महा च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात् महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात् Round of applause for beautiful bride Sita Mata coming into the hall, Mandapam hall, but they don't see each other, do they, like nowadays, right? They are not supposed to be seeing each other at all until this particular Jilakara Muhurtam. We call it the Gudajira Pradhana Muhurtam and Mahasankalpam and all those steps. Because again, how did it happen? Other day I was talking to one of my executive directors. So he was asking about the arranged marriages. I'm curious. I told about what about that? How does it happen? Without having to know and everything else. That's the power of Sanatana Dharma, Vedic mantras and so on. Then I told him, you know what? Marriage is not about what happens before. It's what happens afterwards. What do you do afterwards? It's work. It's a hard work. It's a tremendously hard work. But what is that? That is a test. That is a test for you as an individual, as a woman, as a wife, as a daughter-in-law, and so forth. Right? Imagine, put yourself in the situation, I know which you are already, right? But men have to put themselves in their situation, right? A daughter going into a stranger's family doesn't know what happens, what kind of a culture they are, a little bit maybe, right? Practically, what kind of food habits they have. She has to play the role of a wife. She has to play the role of a daughter-in-law, probably sister-in-law, a little bit later, and whatnot. I mean, those are only 3-4 that I can say. So she would have multiple responsibilities. At the same time, she has that kind of mind with the parents back at home, right? So imagine the trauma that happens. It is a trauma, right? So, but how do you do at that particular time? What do you do? In-laws are supposed to be helping, not giving a little bit of a hard time, extra hard time, right? That's where they call it as, when Sita Mata, she went with Ramachandra onto the, right, Aranyam, Janaka comes and says that, you know what, you don't have to be there, you know, you can come here, something like that. And said, no, you did not give me to Ramachandra Prabhu to be only with him during the happiest times. You send me to their family to share in the good and as well as bad times, worst times, sad times, and all those things. So, what happens to your oath? Your oath becomes a lie. Whatever my commitment that I said, Nati cha Rami, Arthe cha, Kame cha, Dharme cha. That's what we say, 3 mantras. Nati cha Rami means Dharma, Artha, Kama. Those are the 3 steps. During those times, wife and husband have to hold their hands together, each together, and they have to travel. They have to Karyeshu Mantri. That's what it is powerful. So Karyeshu Dasi Karneshu Mantri. Okay. So we call it as like, you know, she is the minister of the home. So those are all the details have been given in our actually Vivaha Prakaranam. Every mantra has a significance. Now you are all sitting here, they are all wondering about it. Some people came late, nothing wrong, but they did not know what happened right a few minutes earlier, right? I told about the bride and the groom details and so on. They are saying, hey, sorry I came late, I missed my bus or something like that, I missed my parking, came late. What is happening? Who's that boy? Who's that girl? I want to know more about their details of the boy. That is where Mahapravara comes. Means we are reintroducing the boy, the details, level. Okay? That reintroduction is called Mahasankalpa. Purvokta evam guna viseshana visisthayam asyam shubhadito ata ekayana moola vedanurodhya ashtottara shata samhitakara sri pancharatra bhakchara chantra divyagamoktra pakarena sahirannyoda kalankruta kanyadana kale shrotrunam Sariya Pasaparyatam Sri Narayana Prityartha Mahasankalpa Patanancha Karishye. So the extended details we call them. Before Kanyadanam, we have to again clarifying the details of each other, right? Because bride has come for the first time. She did not hear anything about him, so she wants to hear too. Who is this boy that I'm going to get married, right? So Srimad Achyutananda Viryasa Bhagavata Srimad Adi Narayana Asya Chintya Paripitashkita Bhikaranisa Mahajalog Madhya Paribhramanaya Mana Aneka Koti Brahmana Mekatame Bhaktamadankara Prithivyato Tejo Vayu Bhakha Sakhya Sapta Varnarutin Mahati Brahmanda Kandamna Adar Shakti Varaha Kurmanta Istok Tirupatistatanam Atala Vitala Sutalatala Satala Mahadra Pata Lakhas Palokan Murdhvage Bhurloka Suvarloka Maharloka Jano Loka Tapoloka Satyaloka Shatkosa Do Bhage Bhuloke Mahanalaya Manipane Rajaraja Sheshan Sasrapana Mani Mandala Mandite. So that means he's a creator of everything else, the entire creation, right? So that's where it becomes Vatapatra Shahi. I'm sure you heard all those kind of stories a little bit, right? So there was all Mahajalogha Madhye, no deluge, a big water, that's all it is. Sriman Narayana at that particular time, Vatapatra Shahi on, you know, and people leave, right? He was just lying down as a kid. Then afterwards he did the meditation so many hundreds of thousands of years. Then he realized, why I'm here, what is the purpose of life? The Swayambhu, we call it as, nobody is not born to any parents at all. That's where our mind goes. How could someone be not born to parents? Because that is the Bhuloka level. We call it in Bhuloka, that rule applies. In Devaloka, rules are applicable. Different rules are applied there. For Devatas, different rules are applied there. Because Devatas are called Animishas, mean they don't blink eyes like that, like we do. Because Animisha means, imagine, Vayu Devata, he blinks eyes, what happens? We are all doomed. Right? Means they are working 24/7 without coffee or tea break. So that's why we have an obligation to say, thank you, Vayu Devata. Thank you, Varana. Ivam me Varana Shrudhiva Madhyaja Manayatva Amavasirajike Tatvayami Brahmana. Why would you say that one? Because we want to say thank you, O Varana Devata, Vayu Devata, Agni Devata. Without Agni, no coffee tomorrow, right? In the morning. Here in Seattle, what happens? We don't say Suryodayam or Mahodayam, Shubhodayam. We say Kafodayam, right? Because before Surya comes, we have coffee. That's why. So that's why we have to say thank you. Anyway, Sriman Narayana at that particular time decided to have this creation, Atmas. Then afterwards he said that Atmas need to have Shariram. That Shariram, for Shariram they need to have all these Indriyas, this and that, all the stuff, 3 gunas, Rajoguna, Tamasaguna, Satyagunam, and so on. All these kind of Satvika Gunam. We have to have these gunas too. They need to have the digestive system. They need to have the ability to process, think, and so on. They need to have a brain. All this has been beautifully designed. This is not automatic. Has been designed, and then that Sriman Narayana, he created all the other lokas also, so that we will have 14 lokas. We can Atala Vitala Sutala Mahatala Patara. So those are the lokas, 7 lokas before us, and 7 lokas above, and so on. Then I'm just going to say only a few of those things. Gandhavati, Kalavati, Yeshopatiste, Devrati, Indra, Yagni, Navana, Vayu Kubera, Ashtadikpala Kapalite, Mahendra, Saya, Shakti Madrava, India Paritraka, Saptaklajbaraje, Mahasaraka, Panchashat Koti, Yojan Vistina Bhumandale. He was talking about Bhumandala. What is the Vistinam? Circumference of Bhuloka, circumference actually Surya, and the distance between the sun and God, and sun, moon, and the earth, and all those kind of things have been calculated, beautifully have been designed for us. We don't have to go back and reinvent the wheel at all. So, if you take for a Hanuman Chalisa, the distance between the sun and as well as the moon and as well as the earth has been already been decided, already calculated. So, those things are there. That is a great thing about Sanatana Dharma. And then he's talking about this Bhumandala has been ruled by Shat Chakravartibihi. Who are the Chakravartibi? Laksha Gavishchina Mandale, Karta Virya Sagara Puru Kuksu Puruvaranala Harishchandra Shat Chakravartibi Paripalite Anga Vanga Kalinga Kashmir Kambhoja Sauvira Rashtra. These are all the kingdoms. Madrid, we call it as, right? Madhya, Madrid Desh, we call it as Madhya Radesha. The Madrid we call it as, right? Cambodia, Cambodia. So those are all used to be as a part of the bigger India at the time, or Bharat Desham and so on. Anyway, he is all these bhashas, Simhala, Gauda, Tavda, Karnataka, Karvata, Maratha, Panata, Pata, Pundibla, Andhra, Boja, Kurukurka, Gandhara, Vidarbha, Devaka, Parakela, Keosala, Kintala, Kirana, Shura, Sena, Sevan, Tenkana, Konkana, Matsya, Madra, Parsho, Garjara, Yavana Salva, Chedi, Siddhu, Avantya, Aneka, Videsha, Bhasha, Vichitra, Paripalite. These are all the kingdoms which have been, so many languages are talked, right? He's the boss for all of them too. And we are going into the different types of oceans we have. Lavana, Ikshu, Suraripa, Dadik, Shira, Sadhu, Sapta Samudre, Paravati, Jambu, Plasha, Kuksha, Kaunja, Shalmika, Pushkara, Saptadipa, Gabayagiri, Bhagirati, Gautami, Narmada, Yamuna, Saraswati, Krishnaveni, Tungabhadra, all these rivers are actually devatas. They are not just water forms. They are devatas. And he's the boss. He's the creator. He created one. All these things. Then Sri Ranga, Vrishagiri, Satyavrata, Balavati, Kshetro, Dipite. So all these kingdoms then he was talking about too. Then what happened? Chaturdasha Manvantarana, Dakshasavarni, Dharmavarni, Dakshasavarni, Rudrasavarni, Brahmasavarni, Rudrasavarni, Brahmasavarni, Vaivasavandare, Eka, Sapta Mahayigan, Sapta Vinsha Mahayige, Tviteshu, Tatupari, Astavimshatitame. So all the 7, like, Manvantaras that have happened before, all he has been in charge of all these kind of lokas and as well the places, the times and so on. He has already been there, but he will never be disappearing at all. He will always be there, eternal. Antar Bahishyatat Sarvam Vyapya Narayana Siddha Anantamavyayam Kavigum Samudrentam Vishwashambhuvam. Anantamavyayam Kavigum Samudrentam Vishwashambhuvam. This Sriman Narayana pervaded everywhere else. Adi Kala Samayam, beginning, middle and end at all. Only we go back and forth, but he always will be there. And finally, when are we performing? Why are we performing Sita Rama Kalyanam? Because today, Vaivasvandare Kalige Pratame Pade Krauncha Dibe Ramana Kvarshe Endrakande Asmin Vyavaharke Prabhavati Shashti Samatsarana Madhye Sri Shobha Krutnama Samatsare Uttarayane Vasantaruto Chaitra Mase Shukla Bhakshastira Lakshmi Vasarayuktayam Aslesha Nakshatrakam Dashamyasa Ekadashyam, because Dashami has gone at 11 o'clock and coming into the Ekadashi. Dashamyasa Ekadasyam Aslesha Nakshatrayuktayam
सायं समये लक्ष्मीवासरथे में राधा देव नील श्री कृष्ण राधा समेत श्री रुक्मिणी समेत वासुदेव स्वामी राधा समेत वासुदेव स्वामी देवालये मंदिरे अस्मिन् व्यावहारिके प्रवर्तमाने. That's what we are saying. This particular evening we are performing Sita Kalyana Mahotsavam. Why? Because of this one. Kamyato va. You can repeat after me. Kamyato vasvataha balya yauvana kaumara vardakeshu jagrat swapna sushupta avasthasu mama iha janma janmane janma janmantareshu para preranaya vasambhavitanam. That means whether you liked it or not, you came here because you got to go there because somebody, my friend asked me to come here or something like that, right? I really don't want to go, but I just came here anyway, right? I have to drop. So intentionally or unintentionally you are here, still you will get the result. What result? In a minute. Papanam apanoda artham tilai surya mandala paryantam srihariloke nivasa siddhyartam yaschait chandra mandala paryantam. So this is where we are going to all these kind of lokas. You will be qualified to go to lokas. If I talk about what happens after we leave this body, the journey is very mind-boggling and so on. But we are not going to talk about that subject here. That's the reason why they say that you don't want to visit all those lokas, okay? The lokas that are very difficult lokas. Let me put it there. How can you bypass all those lokas? Aha! Take a look at the Kalyana Mahotsav. Participate. Come here. Listen. Whatever that may be. That's why, what do you get by doing that one? Because we are all result-oriented people, aren't we, right? We need result, no matter whatever we do. That is what do you call actually, the characteristic. We can't do much about it, right? But we can overcome it, as Bhagavad Gita when you learn, when Harivilas Prabhu is saying Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and so on, he always says, and Prabhuji always says that one, Sarva Dharman Parijyatya Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja, right? Means, Sab chhod do. Baki ka dharma pura chhod do. That doesn't mean that one don't go to work or something like that, right? You still have to go to work and so on. To by जो भी धर्म आप करेंगे वो धर्म कृष्ण परमात्मा के पाद में और चरण में रख दो बस इतना आज खाली ही धू देख लेगा. Why do you worry about it? Are you going to control everything? We cannot control anything. Nothing is in our control. When you say you are in control, you have a big ego problem. Okay, first you have to fix that one. Go back and fix that one. Come back. Example is, when you go to work driving, you are not an invincible driver because you are get to from office to work because you are protected by Sriman Narayana, Krishna Paramatma. That's what happens. So, watch out this one. So, anyway, finally, this is the last part of it. Amoda, Pramoda, repeat after. Amoda, Pramoda, Dasha, Purvesham, Dasha, Paresham, Mad, Pitrunam, Narakat, Uttirya, Shashvata, Sri Vaikunta, Loka, Praptyartham. So means we will be able to go finally 10 generations before, 10 generations afterwards, they will be able to go back to the Sri Vaikunta Lokaparam. That is the reason why we have to witness, we have to participate, we have to come here, we have to read, we have to listen and all stuff. Jilakara Bellam. Om Purvakta Evam Viseshan Visisthayam Syam Shubhatito Miru. దీంట్లో కొన్ని అక్షతలు ఇట్లా ఇట్లా చేసి స్వామివారికి ఒకసారి చూపితే పుష్పాల వనేషని కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఉపచారాలు చేసినట్టు అనమాట. నేను ఇంత లోపల ఈ మంగళాష్టకాలు నేను చదువుతాను. ఓకే, చేసేసి కొద్దిగా అర్ఘ్యపాద్యాచమనీయాలు చేసేసి ఇచ్చేసుకోండి. చాలు కొద్ది పసుపు కుంకుమ వేయండి. ఓకే, పూర్వోక్త దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ గుడజీర ప్రధానం. మీన్స్ ద మిక్సర్ ఆఫ్ జీరా అండ్ క్యుమిన్స్ ఈస్ ప్లేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద టాప్ ఆఫ్ ఈచ్ అదర్స్ హెడ్. దట్స్ వెన్ ఫస్ట్ టైం వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ ఈస్ ద మిక్స్చర్ హ్యాస్ the power in the midst of the Veda mantras. That power will generate a kind of a love and affection towards each other, for each other, the bride and groom. That is why they say netra nimilanam or netra vikshanam. We call it. First time the bride and groom are supposed to be looking into each other's eyes at that time. That's it. Kshana pariyantam. That means 1 minute is enough. Then that is actually the important step in arranged marriages. That is a binding energy. That's how people arranged marriages who were able to live by the Ramachandra Swami, Sita Amavari's lifestyle and so on, to our life role modeling and so on. They were able to follow that one. They were able to continue with 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever the number of years. So that's where we need to have that Sanatana Dharma. We have to have that kind of a belief system. Sanatana Dharma, Hindu marriage is all about dharmam, all about nammakam. Whenever you have difficulties, what do? We go back to reflect upon Ramayana, Sita Mata's role, Ramachandra's role, and you can fix all those kind of issues, problems, and so on. We are going to recite Mangalastakas and so on. Sumuhurtakale Mangalastakanancha karishe Pratanancha karishe Om Sri Saketa Purishwarata Sharade Putri Yanamna Dhvare Kshiranna Pratipadayadhyaktam Dishtavadubhyasvayam Krutvatmanamavatarakshitile Yosau Chaturtahari Sasri Idain Tarotama. Just Sriman Jagadeka Mohan Dadyat Sada Mangalam. Repeat after me. Sulagne Savadhana Sumurte Savadhana
Sumuhurte Savadhana
Sri Ramachandra Swami Dhyana Savadhana. You got it right? You don't have to, I don't have to ask you to repeat, right? You can do it automatically. Right, okay. Gadheyanucharo Nishacharavadhu Prana Vahartamaka Tratamo Nikada Pratarano Dhanvi Dhanurbhanjaka Prito Vaitilakanya Pranaya Drudyopanedi Sada Sri Ramo Jamadagni Mayoro Dadyat Sada Mangalam
Sumuhurte Savadhana
Sri Chappandama.
Samvadhana.
This is all about Mangalastakam, about what was the Ramayana is all about. What did Ramachandra do? Okay, if you pay attention a little bit Hindi and Sanskritam, then you will be able to get it. Kaikeyi pranayena rajni vavise matu priyan chintayan swachandyena sahanayatya vraje tadvat kaletra priyaha gatvaranyam upedya dashapatina sankyam munindra sute Sri Rama kruta chitra kotapati dadyat sada mangalam.
Sulagne Savadhana Sumuhurte Savadhana Sri Rama Swami Dhyana Savadhana
Sodaryam Guru Viprayoga Chakitam Drustvadayo Bhyagatam Prayachadvapadararpunojvalatale Tasmai Nije Paduke Uri Krutva Tapasvirakshanamadhoyo Vivishadandakam Soyam Panchavati Tati Mativasan Dadyat Sada Mangalam.
Sulagne Savadhana Sumuhurte Savadhana Sri Ramachandra Swami Dhyana
Savadhana Srutyavanamashararjitamanu Vratasya Drutvadanu Hatva Traksharadatiksadakanam Krutva Bhayan Dandakam Pranvahema Mrugandhirutan Tava Vadhun Rushva Vipannidvajam Tannihrutan Tadanancha Pramude Dadyat Sado Mangalam.
Sulagne Savadhana Sumuhurte Savadhana Sri Ramachandra Swami Dhyana Savadhana
Anvishyan Sramanintaya Sramapade Sampujita Sadaram Sugrivena Samagato Hanumata Hatva Kapim Valinam Kishkindham Pratipadya Mitramanaye Gnata Marutpunanuna Sita Vritti Madan Madan Sabgavan Dadyat Sada Mangalam.
Sulagne Savadhana Sumuhurte Savadhana Sri Ramachandra Swami Dhyana Savadhana
Padva Setumapam Nidau Kapirvardhairuda Lanka Purim Hatva Ravana Mahave Nijavadu Harartamapha Priyam Lankayam Chavbhishanasya Kututkat Katruta Vishegam Panaha Putam Yo Vanitam Apadhana Dadyat Sada Mangalam.
Sulagne Savadhana Sumuhurte Savadhana Sri Ramachandra Swami Dhyana
Savadhana Sita Lakshmana Sangata Pramudite Shaka Mrugaina Irutaihi Radhyarukya Vimana Rupamavan Sri Pushpakam Kyam Tataha Gatva Swam Nagarim Nijay Parivrito Rajye Bishakta Prajaha Yo Vridam Vivusharayana Haridat Sada Mangalam.
Sulagne Savadhana Sumuhurte Savadhana Sri Ramachandra Swami Dhyana Savadhana.
Okay. మనం ఇప్పుడు చేసేటప్పుడు ఒకసారి చేసుకొని ఇక్కడే ప్లస్ లఘుగా చేసేసుకుంటే అయిపోతే. రిపీట్ ఆఫ్టర్ మీ. కన్యాం కనక సంపన్నాం కనకాభరణ భూషితాం దాస్యామి విష్ణవే తుభ్యం బ్రహ్మలోక జిగీషయా. That means Kanyadanam Muhurtam, right? Kanyadanam when we are washing the feet here internally. So, and again by washing the feet, who is that one? Sri Vishnu, Sri Mahavishnu. That's why in the marriage time what happens is the bride and groom, they take the Sri Mahavishnu, Mahalakshmi, Mahavishnu, Rupam, Sakshat Rupam. That's why even though elderly people also, in-laws, they always wash the feet of the groom, right? So that means by doing the Kanyadanam, she is the light. She goes into the home of other people and continues to spread the positive qualities of compassion, kindness, charity, all those loaded qualities. Only qualities loaded. Remember that one, right? Loaded qualities. Okay, you get it? You get it? Yes, you got it, right? You have to break it down. Not loaded material, loaded qualities. Okay, loaded qualities. Qualities are the ones actually which make the home very auspicious, holy, powerful, energetic, and so on. So by giving this Kanya, who can be able to do all these kind of things in your home, may I get the, not may I get, I will be qualified to get the Brahmalokam. Mean Brahmaloka Jigishaya, that is the power of Kanyadanam and so on. So see how powerful our Vedic marriage ceremony is, right? Or may the rituals are, or the processes. It's very, very powerful. Spend a little bit of time. If you have children who are going to go through that one, explain the process. I'll tell you in a quick chal. Other day I spoke to one of my students, and he's born and brought up over here, and he said that when I explained him about the, what is a Vedic ritual like about marriage and so on. After I spoke to him for 1 hour, he said that one, you know what, Dr. Kadam, it doesn't matter, whether I get married or not. I'm going to get married only as per the Sanatana Dharma only. That's what he said. Jai Shri Ram, right? Yes. Means explain. Take a little bit of a time, explain to your children what it is and so on. For that, you have to do research. You have to ask gurus. Spend time, I'm sure, and it will be very, very powerful. So that's why we are doing Kanyadanam over here. So after the Kanyadanam, Pada Prakshalanam has been done. Now we are going to the Jukudajira Pradhanam. Okay? Adi iskon tarvata water that let's go. Amma paata unda? Paadani. Okay, good. Go ahead. Sing song.
स्तुति पात्र पावन चरित्र रवि सोमवर नेत्र रमणीय गात्र पावन स्तुति पात्र पावन चरित्र रवि सोमवर नेत्र रमणीय गाथा सीता कल्याण वैभोग में राम कल्याण वैभोग में भक्तजन परिपाल भरित शरजाल भुक्ति मुक्ति दलील भूदेव पाल भक्तजन परिपाल भरित शरजाल भुक्ति मुक्ति दलील भूदेव पाल सीता कल्याण वैभोग में राम कल्याण वैभोग में पामर सुरधीम परिपूर्ण काम श्याम जगदभिराम साकेत धाम पामर सुरधीम परिपूर्ण काम श्याम जगदभिराम साकेत धाम सीता कल्याण वैभोग में Rama Kalyanam Vaibhoga
Om Dhruvante Raja Varuno Dhruvam Devo Brahaspatihi Dhruvanta Indraschagnistra Rashtam Dharayatam Dhruvam Abhragudne Varuna Teithavatatsva Agora Chaksharapadiyeti Shivadipatya Sumana Varcha Te Jivasi Jivasur Devakam Matsyo Shamno Pravadgadipade Shanchatushpade Raja Varuno Dhruvam Devo Brahaspatihi Dhruvanta Indraschagnistarashtam Dharayatam Dhruvam Tadvishno Paramam Padakam Kada Vaksyanni Durayah Divi Vachakshuradatam Tadvipraso Vipanyavo Jagruvagum Dastamindate Vishnoryat Paramam Padam Madhyarayat Dasharataya Vidmahe Sita Vallabhaya Dhimahi Tanno Ramachandra Prachodayat Janakaputraya Vidmahe Sita Devayai Dhimahi Tanno Janaki Prachodayat Sakalopacharan Pratyami Kana battara marre Mangalam Mangalam
Jai Sri Ram. So the Kalyanam is happening, and if you would
Hiranyavarnam
like to participate hymns at the
Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmi Jataveda Mahabharata
you can pay give your
Devi Pakpa Yetiman Mahalakshmi Namaha Om Hiranyavarnam Hani Prakten Ukritam Shadhan Dvaitim Paramatma Vachan Padmana Padmana Shijan Swahan Dharmalakshmi Dharma Dityam 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 Vasavadharana Kamalana Kamana Kam Shavat Shirodha Padmavadharma Karvaram Dityam Bhaktam Kalan Lokmata Padmapra Padmasa Padmasa Padmana 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 Suprasana Pradama Padman Chandran Chandra Chandruvan Indram Shilala Pashena Shivan Shivakra Satyan Gulam Shivakra Satyan Dhara Jasa Biju Pramana Shiva Bhaskam Pilvalan Pararoha and Shivadharan Garania Riva Dharakam Siddhe Lokashan Lokashma Lokashma Suprani Prakar Samadra Javakam Shivakana Samadra Rodhavadra Mahagna Brahmashwan Dhoreshwara Sita Lakshmi Namaharana Vidaparamatpan
Hare Krishna.
Hardra Joram
Okay, thank you. Those who have not heard me earlier, if you would like to sponsor the Kalyanam, Sita Rama Kalyanam, please give your names. There is minimum suggested donation, $108. There is Sita Rama Kalyanam. They can take your names. Please, you can go and sponsor. Hare Krishna.
Sakalopacharan Samarpayami Mangalya Devadabhyo Namaha. Do Namaskaram. Again, that Mangalyam is every step. Karabalam, Kankanam,
right? Pada prakshalam, all those things, right? Coming to the Mangalyam. As always, this great story goes on, right? So, all energy, any negative energy that is coming from here, right? Because we get negative energy from the feet, sides, hands also. Mangalyam over here, it prevents so that it doesn't corrupt our mind. Whose mind? Wife's mind and brothers, husband's mind and everybody else's mind. So, if see the power of a woman, right? If she is intact, her intellect, her buddhi, her decision making is intact, the entire family will be intact. So that's why they said that one. Even Metti also like that one too, right? Toe rings too. They're all designed so that negative energy doesn't get into the body. Ears, nose rings, and all those things are significance of Lakshmi Tattvam. Means Mahalakshmi resides in all those things. So that's why we have to have, like they say that one, for men, Yajnopavitam. Or some kind of a Diksha. If you do not have the Yajnopavitam, something else we have it too. As a Diksha, as a reminder of Vruddha, like a Grosser Dharmam. Now we are going to offer the Dvitiya Yajnopavitam in a minute. As soon as a Mangali Dharanam is done. What this means is, Ammavaru gets Mangalyam, Swamivaru gets Dvitiya Yajnopavitam. Means, Mama Gruhastama Dharma Nirvarana Artham Dvitiya Yajnopavita Dharanam Karishye. That is a mantra we say it every time we change this Yajnopavitam. It is a reminder for my Gruhastama Dharma. So, that is a reminder for, that's a power of it. That's why we say Karadayan Nambu and all those things we do, right? We change, you change Mangalyam regularly, we do the puja, apply Pasum Kunkumam and everything else to Mangalyam and so on. So, that's what actually keeps us going. When we don't perform all those kind of rituals, or when we don't perform all these kind of practices, that is when our minds tend to get corrupted and we tend to go in a wrong direction. Again, going back to that marriage ceremony, and as well as a marriage, the power of marriage is incredible. Got to go back and reflect upon whatever roles are and so on. They're all teaching us right now. Okay. We have done the Mangalya Puja, you have done the Namaskaram. Now we are going to do the Mangalya Dharanam. Yeah, Gatti Melam and so on. Chesara mere. Jai Shri Ram. Mangalyam Tantuna Mena Loka Rakshana Hetuna Kante Padna Vishubhage Sajiva Sharadam Shatam. That was a mantra. Kante, not Mama Jivana Hetuna, for my life. Loka Rakshana Hetuna. We are performing this marriage for the Loka Rakshana, the welfare of the entire community, entire world, all those people too. Sarve Jananam, Sarve Bhaktagananam. So that's why we are, that Ramachandra Swami is saying that commitment, he is making commitment on behalf of us. You know what? I am performing, I'm tying this Mangalyam to Sita because I want Loka Rakshana. They don't want anything else except our welfare, our Uddharana. For that we are, he's taking commitment on behalf of us, and that's why we should have that kind of a gratitude, and we should be joyful, and with a big round of applause and a Gatti Melam, we do the Mangalya Dharanam. Kante Bhadnami Shubhage Sajiva Sharadam Shadam Mangalya Dharana Sumuhurto Astu direct Visheta Supratisthita Mastu Om Dhruvante Raja Varano Dhruvam Devo Bruhaspatihi Dhruvanta Indrastat Nistarastam Dharayatam Dhruvam Gruhastama Dharma Nirahanatam Yajnopavita Dharanam Chakarishye. Shri Ram. Krishna Paramam Padam Sada Hiranya Patram Madhu Purnamita Madhavyo Dhaniti Ekada Brahmana Uparate Kade Vajamana Ayuste Jodadati Ramachandra Swamine Namaha Mahadevta Satruvtarani ఏమైనా పాట ఉందా? ఓకే.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So now, as an offering, there will be a dance performance to please Sita Rama Kalyanam here. So you all please come this side.
మాలలు ఉంటాయి
Move to your right. Move to your right.
అందుకే మనకు మాల మాట్లాడడానికి ఉంది కదా ఒకటి
Hare Krishna. Mataji, please. Still move, still move.
అదే వాళ్ళ డాన్స్
So we're going to have a dance. Just pay attention. Today, please don't rush. It's a Friday and tomorrow is Saturday. Don't less because we are completing all the Pattabhishekam also. We are going to do it. It won't take a long time to do the Pattabhishekam, but we will be, probably 8:45 is what I'm thinking. Should be able to complete everything else, and you will have Tirtham, and we also have the Prasadam, Laddu Prasadam too, specially made by Sriman Ramesh ji and Krishnaveni ji. Their family, they always put a lot of effort to making prasadam. Everyone gets that prasadam too. Hare Krishna. Yes. Jai Sriman Narayana. Yes. Mangal. అర్చన తొందరగా అర్చన తర్వాత మనం నైవేద్యం తర్వాత చేసుకోవచ్చు. Okay, yeah. Please, men on your right hand side and left woman on your left hand side. You can help each other so that because the energy flows this way, right? And woman is the one who is holding that energy, right? Energy is coming this way and holding that energy so that she doesn't get out. That is our responsibility too by doing all this kind of thing. That's why you have left and right. Okay, right men, women left. Please sit down if you can so that other people can see. Huh? Yeah, that's it. 8:45, I'll give you. Okay. Ready? Dance. Go.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai
Chetal and Archana.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Hare Krishna. Matajis from BCC have prepared a dance as an offering to Lord Sri Rama on this auspicious day. Many thanks to Veena Mataji, Kavitamani Mataji and Premamai Mataji for translating the lyrics which aided in choreographing the song. The translated Kannada song conveys the sentiment of showering Lord Rama with flowers as he is the ruler of the entire universe and his presence brings heaven to earth. He is the obedient son who went to exile to keep his father's word. The song highlights how Lord Rama rescued Ahalya from her curse and as Purushottama won the heart of Sita Mata. It glorifies the love and devotion between Lord Rama and Lord Maruti. It acknowledges the challenges of human desires such as lust, anger, greed, and attachment, and asks Lord Rama to replace them with righteousness and justice. The song concludes with a request for Lord Rama's protection and acceptance of the devotees' worship, prayers, and service. Let us offer flowers at the lotus feet of Maryada Purushottama Shri Ramachandra ki Jai.
Shri Ram Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranam Tattulyam Ramanam Varanane.
Chilli chilli homa chilli chilvange bhumi aadu namma ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ರಾಮ ರಘುರಾಮ ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಸಾಕಯ್ಯ ಸ್ವರ್ಗವೇ ಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಬಂದ ಹಾಗಯ್ಯ ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ ನಮಗಿನ್ನೇನು ನೀನೇ ನೀನೇ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲಾನು ರಾಮ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ರಾಮ ರಘುರಾಮ ಸೋತು ಹೋದ ಪುರುಷೋತ್ತಮನಿ ಮಾರುತಿಗೆ ಮಾರು ಹೋದ ಮಹದೇವನು ನೀ ಜಯ ಜಯ ಹೋ ಜಯ ಜಯ ಹೋ ರಾಜಕುಮಾರ ನಿನ್ನ ಕೊಡುಗೆ ಈ ಶರೀರ ರಾಜ ರಾಮ ನಿಂಗೆ ಶರಣು ಈ ಪಾದಾನ ಎಂದಿಗೂ ಬಿಡೇನು ಕೋಟೆ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಪೂಜೆ ಗೈವೆ ಬಾರೋ ಹರಿ ರಾಮ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ರಾಮ ರಘುರಾಮ ಕಾಮ ಕ್ರೋಧ ಲೋಭ ಮೋಹ ತುಂಬಿದ ಈ ದೇಹ ನ್ಯಾಯ ನೀತಿ ಸತ್ಯ ತುಂಬಿ ತೀರಿಸು ಈ ದಾಹ ದೀಪ ಧೂಪ ನೈವೇದ್ಯನ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸೆಂದು ನಾದ ಮೋಹ ಗಾನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿನ್ಗೆಂದು ಜಯ ಜಯ ಹೋ ಜಯ ಜಯ ಹೋ ರಾಜಕುಮಾರ ಅನುದಿನವೂ ಅನುಕ್ಷಣವೂ ಕಾಯುವುದೇನ ಆರಾಧನೆಯ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸೋ ಬಾ ಈ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆಯ ಆಲಿಸು ಬಾಬಾ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಆಸೆ ನೋಡೋ ಆಸೆ ಬಾರೋ ದೊರೆಯ ರಾಮ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ರಾಮ ರಘುರಾಮ ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಸಾಕಯ್ಯ ಸ್ವರ್ಗವೇ ಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಬಂದ ಹಾಗಯ್ಯ ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ ನಮಗಿನ್ನೇನು ನೀನೇ ನೀನೇ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲಾನು ರಾಮ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ರಾಮ ರಘುರಾಮ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಮ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆಲ್ವಂಗೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಆಡೋ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಮ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆಲ್ವಂಗೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಆಡೋ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ
Hari Bol! Our Matajis have worked very hard to do this to please Ramchandra. Thank you so much, Matajis, for the dance. While you're seated there, please be right over there because we'll have another little dance over here. So.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Please be seated there.
So we are going to have Akshata Ropanam. Akshatas, the significant, basically most important aspect of Ramachandra Swami's Kalyana Mahotsavam is, we always, especially in Bhadrachalam and South Indra, so that's where they always offer mutyalu, right, and pearls. And those are the pearls always they do Akshata Ropanam first, then afterwards we do the Akshata and so on. Then afterwards we have a mala garland exchange, and afterwards we'll have tirtha prasadam and so on. So we are almost there, about 10 minutes we'll be able to do that, 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. Dhruvante Raja Varuno Dhruvam Devo Bruhaspatihi Dhruvanta Indraschagnischa Rastram Dharayatam Dhruvam. Om Sahasrashirja Purja Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishwato Vrutva Atyatishtaddashangulam Purusha Evedagum Sarvam Yadbhutam Yajja Bhavyam Utamrutatvasyeşanaha Edannenadirohati Etavanasya Mahima Adoschaya Guscha Purushaha Padosya Vishwabhutani Tripadasya Dive Tripadodvaudait Purushaha Padosyeha Bhavat Punaha Tato Vishwam Vyakramat Shasana Nashane Abhi Tasmat Virana Jayata Virajo Adipurushaha Sajato Atyarichata Paschat Bhumimato Puraha Et Purushena Havisha Deva Yajnamatanmata Santo Asya Sita
Peruna Mutyala Meda Pendli Kuturu Perugala Javarale Pendli Kuturu Pedda Peruna Mutyala Meda Pendli Kuturu Perentandla Nadimi Pendli Kuturu Perentandla Nadimi Pendli Kuturu Vibhu Peru Guchu Siggu Pade Pendli Kuturu Pidikita Talambrala Pendli Kuturu Kunta Pedamarali Navvene Pendli Kuturu Pendli Kuturu Nirabirudumani Kante Pendli Kuturu Birudu Pendamu Vette Pendli Kuturu Nirabirudu Magani Kante Pendli Kuturu Pirudurinapude Pendli Kuturu Pirudurinapude Pendli Kuturu Pati Pediyo Pendli Kuturu Pidikita Talambrala Pendli Kuturu Kunta Pedamarali Navvene Pendli Kuturu Talambrala Pendli Kuturu Kunta Pedamarali Navvene Pendli Kuturu Pedda Turumu Pendli Kuturu Nedu Pettadu Cheeralu Gatte Pendli Kuturu Pettane Pedda Turumu Pendli Kuturu Nedu Pettadu Cheeralu Gatte Pendli Kuturu Gattiga Venkatapati Kaugitanu Gattiga Venkatapati Kaugitanu Vadinettina Neenamaya Pendli Kuturu Pedikita Talambrala Pendli Kuturu Kunta Pedamarale Navvene Pendli Kuturu Pedikita Talambrala Pendli Kuturu Kunta Pedamarale Navvene Pendli Kuturu
పెండ్లి కూతురు పెద్ద పేరుల ముత్యాల మెడ పెండ్లి కూతురు పేరుగల జవరాలే పెండ్లి కూతురు పెద్ద పేరున ముత్యాల మెడ పెండ్లి కూతురు పేరంటాళ్ళ నడిమి పెండ్లి కూతురు పేరంటాళ్ళ నడిమి పెండ్లి కూతురు పేరు గుచ్చి సిగ్గుపడే పెండ్లి కూతురు పిడికిట తలంబ్రాల పెండ్లి కూతురు కొంత పడమరలి నవ్వేనే పెండ్లి కూతురు పిడికిట తలంబ్రాల పెండ్లి కూతురు కొంత పెడమరలి నవ్వేనే పెండ్లి కూతురు పెడమరలి నవ్వేనే పెండ్లి కూతురు కొంత పెడమరలి నవ్వేనే పెండ్లి కూతురు.
అమ్మా మాల మాల We have the fun part of it. Garland exchange, right? We needed dancers, couple of dancers, and a couple of. We have plenty of dancers there. It seems they are lined up. All right. I'm going to read all the sponsors who are there. I know you may not be able to hear because we are singing the song. Unda song undama? Mala song.
Oh yeah.
Undiga? Yeah, of course, of course. So I'm going to read all the, just in front of God. So your names will be taken away if you have given the names. పూర్వోక్తైవంగళ విశేషణ విశిష్టాయామస్యాం శుభతిథౌ సకుటుంబక్షేమస్థైర్య ధైర్య విజయ చేసుకోవచ్చు క్షేమస్థైర్య ధైర్య విజయ ఆయురారోగ్యైశ్వర్యాం సిద్ధ్యర్థం సీతా రామచంద్ర స్వామిన తిరుకల్యాణ మహోత్సవ కర్మణి విశేష అనుగ్రహ కటాక్ష సిద్ధ్యర్థ మనోవాంఛాఫల సిద్ధ్యర్థం చ ఇష్టకామ్యా సిద్ధ్యర్థ తిరుకల్యాణ మహోత్సవ కర్మణి యదా ఓం పూర్వోక్త శ్రవణ నక్షత్రయుక్తాయాం आद्रा नक्षत्र कृष्ण कल्याणामधेयस्य निशिलानाम्नि भगमहर्षि गोत्रोद्भवस्य सकुटुम्बानां चैतन्य सुवर्णदास नामधेयस्य जया श्रीदेवीदास नामधेयस्य सुब्राणी नक्षत्रयुक्तायां शरज्योत्सना नक्षत्रयुक्तां गोत्रं तक्षक ब्रह्मर्षि गोत्रोद्भवस्य तक्ष ब्रह्मर्षि गोत्रोद्भवस्य सह कुटुम्बानां पार्थसारथि श्रीनिवासन मध्ये आइल्यं नक्षत्रयुक्तायां निर्मलाय श्रीराम नामधेयस्य गोत्रं गर्गोत्रोद्भवस्य वृक्षनोत्रोद्भव नक्षत्रयुक्तायां अविट्टं नक्षत्रयुक्तायां
माले सात्रिनाय कोरे माले मात्रिनाय மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலையவர்த்தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலையவர்த்தன் மார்பிலை மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமல கரத்தினாய் மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமல கரத்தினாய் மாலை சாற்றினால் கோடை மாலை மாற்றினாய் மாலை சாற்றினால் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாய் மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமல கரத்தினாய் மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமல கரத்தினாய் மாலை சாற்றினால் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாய் மாலை சாற்றினாய் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாய் ரங்கராஜனை அன்பர் தங்கள் நேசனை ரங்கராஜனை அன்பர் தங்கள் நேசனை ஆசை கூறி பூசுரகள் பேசி நீக்க வாழ்த்திட ஆசை கூறி பூசுரகள் பேசி நீக்க வாழ்த்திட அன்புடன் என்பதாய் ஆண்டாள் கரத்தினார் அன்புடன் என்பதாய் ஆண்டாள் கரத்தினார் மாலை சாற்றினால் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினார் மாலை சாற்றினால் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினார் மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மாமல கரத்தினாய் மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமல கரத்தினாய் மாலை சாற்றினால் கோதை
கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமலர் கரத்தினார் மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமலர் கரத்தினார் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் ரங்கராஜனை அன்ப தங்க நேசனை ரங்கராஜனை அன்ப தங்க நேசனை ஆசை கூறி பூசுரகள் பேசி நிற்க வாழ்த்திட ஆசை கூறி பூசுரகள் பேசி நிற்க வாழ்த்திட அன்புடன் என்பவாய் ஆடாள் கரத்தினாள் அன்புடன் என்பவாய் ஆடாள் கரத்தினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் 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 மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மையனாய் கையனாய் கரத்தினாள் மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமல கரத்தினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமல கரத்தினாள் மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமல கரத்தினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் ரங்கராஜனை அன்ப தங்க நேசனை ரங்கராஜனை அன்ப தங்க நேசனை ஆசை கூறி பூசுரகள் பேசி நிற்க வாழ்த்திட ஆசை கூறி பூசுரகள் பேசி நிற்க வாழ்த்திட அன்புடன் என்பவாய் ஆடா கரத்தினாள் அன்புடன் என்பவாய் ஆடா கரத்தினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமலர் கரத்தினாள் மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமலர் கரத்தினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமலர் கரத்தினாள் மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமலர் கரத்தினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் ரங்கராஜனே அன்ப தங்க நேசனே ரங்கராஜனே அன்ப தங்க நேசனே ஆசை கூறி பூசுரகள் பேசி நிற்க வாழ்த்திட ஆசை கூறி பூசுரகள் பேசி நிற்க வாழ்த்திட அன்புடன் என்பவாய் ஆடாள் கரத்தினாள் அன்புடன் என்பவாய் ஆடாள் கரத்தினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் 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 மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமலர் கரத்தினாள் மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமலர் கரத்தினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் ரங்கராஜனை அன்ப தங்க நேசனை ரங்கராஜனை அன்ப தங்க நேசனை ஆசை கூறி பூசுரகள் பேசி நிற்க வாழ்த்திட ஆசை கூறி பூசுரகள் பேசி நிற்க வாழ்த்திட அன்புடன் என்பவாய் ஆடாள் கரத்தினாள் அன்புடன் என்பவாய் ஆடாள் கரத்தினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் 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 மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவர் தன் மார்பிலை மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமலர் கரத்தினாள் மையனாய் கையனாய் மாமலர் கரத்தினாள் ஆசை கூறி பூசுரர்கள் பேசினைக்க வாழ்த்திட ஆசை கூறி பூசுரர்கள் பேசினைக்க வாழ்த்திட அன்புடன் என்பவாய் ஆண்டாள் கரத்தினார் அன்புடன் என்பவாய் ஆண்டாள் கரத்தினார் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலடைந்த மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவத்தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்த மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவத்தன் மார்பிலை மையலாய் கையலாய் மாமல கரத்தினார் மையலாய் கையலாய் மாமல கரத்தினார் மாலை சாற்றினார் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினார்
மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை
மாற்றினார் மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவத்தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவத்தன் மார்பிலை மையலாய் கையலாய் மாமலர் கரத்தினார் மையலாய் கையலாய் மாமலர் கரத்தினார் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் ரங்கராஜனே அன்ப தங்க நேசனே ரங்கராஜனே அன்ப தங்க நேசனே ஆசை கூறி பூசுரகள் பேசினைக்க வாழ்த்திட ஆசை கூறி பூசுரகள் பேசினைக்க வாழ்த்திட அன்புடன் என்பவாய் ஆண்டாள் கரத்தினார் அன்புடன் என்பவாய் ஆண்டாள் கரத்தினார் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் 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 மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவத்தன் மார்பிலை மாலடைந்து மதிலரங்கன் மாலை அவத்தன் மார்பிலை மையலாய் கையலாய் ஆண்டாள் கரத்தினார் மையலாய் கையலாய் ஆண்டாள் கரத்தினார் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள்
மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் மாலை சாற்றினாள் கோதை மாலை மாற்றினாள் ஹரி போல்
Namaskaram. This is with Pattabhishekam Kirita Mahotsavam, and then afterwards we will have Arati. Vishnodakam Viryani Pravojamya Partivani Vivamerajakam Siyo Askabhayattaragam Sadastam Vijakramana Sredorugayo Vishno Raradamata Vishno Krishnamata Vishno Shapre Eso Vishno Suri Vishno Vishno Vishnavetva Tadasya Prevaso Asyamaro Yatra Devaya Vovadati Rukramasya Evandrita Vishno Pade Parame Madhuvutsaha Pratadvishya Samade Viryaya Mrugona Bhivakujaro Krishna Yasyorishu Trisha Vikramneshwadikshya Nipuran Vishwa Paromatriya Dharmavradhana Nadev Haitu Manvashvanti Vede Vidvarasi Prithivya Vishnu Devatam Brahmasya Vitse Vichakrame Prithvi Mesha Etam Kshetraya Vishwarmanaseta Sasyan Dhruvaso Asekira Yojana Sa Urukshitikam Sunimachakarati Deva Prithvi Mesha Etam Vichakrame Sadarcha Sammaitva Pravishura Satava Sastaviya Dveshakukya Sastavara Senama Ado Deva Amtaro Yado Vishwarvikame Prithivya Saptadamavi Idam Vishwarvikame Tredan Devatam Samona Vasavagam Saretrini Padavachakrame Vishwar Gopadabhya Tadu Dharmani Dharyanu Vishwakarmani Pasya Durutan Pasve Indrasya Jasaka Tatvishno Paramamritakam Sada Pasyanti Surya Divi Vichakshuratan Tatiprasa Agam Tasamindate Vishno Yet Paramam Kadam Om Badran Karane Vishnu Niyama Deva Badram Pashe Maksha Britra Sirerange Isushavagam Sastanobe Vishema Deva Hitam Yadayu Swastina Indra Rudashrava Swastina Pusha Vishveda Swastina Sarksho Arichareme Swastina Praspatri Dadatu Om Shanti Shanti Brahspati no Vishnurukrama Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmavadisham Ratamavadisham Satyamavadisham Tanmama Vita Dvaktarama Vita Vinmam Avit Vaktaram Om Shanti 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 Sri Ramachandra Swamine Namaha Pattabhisheka Muhurta Sumuhurta Kale Sumuhurto Astu Kiriti Dharana Sumuhurto Astu Om Dhruvante Raja Varano Dhruvam Devo Brahaspatihi Dhruvam Jai Shri Ram Dhruvanta Indrashagnishtha Rastram Dharayatam Dhruvam Om Shanno Mitrajadi Rajaya Prasaya Sahine Namo Vayam Vai Shravanaya Kurmahe Same Kaman Kama Kamaya Makyam कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः। ॐ ध्रुवन्ते राजा वरुणो ध्रुवं देवो बृहस्पतिः ध्रुवन्त इन्द्रश्चाग्निश्चराष्ट्रं धारयतां ध्रुवम्। ॐ तद्विष्णो परमं पदकं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवि वचक्षुरादतं तद्विप्रासो विपन्यवो जागृभागं सस्तमिन्दते विष्णोर्यत्परमं पदम् पर्याप्त्य अनन्तरायाय सर्वस्तोमोदिरात्रमुत्तममहर्भवति सर्वस्याप्यै सर्वस्वजित्यै सर्वमेव तेनाप्नोति सर्वं जयति। ॐ दाशरथाय विद्महे सीतावल्लभाय धीमहि तन्नो रामचन्द्र प्रचोदयात्। महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्न्यै च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्। जानकीपुत्र आञ्जनेयाय विद्महे वायुपुत्राय धीमहि तन्नो हनुम प्रचोदयात्। सर्वदेव देवसनन्तु भोगोऽस्तु सकलोपतिर्कल्याणमहोत्मणि सकलोपचाराणि सुवर्णमन्दिरस्वां समर्पयामि। हरि ओम् अग्निमीळे पुरोतमज्ञस्य देवमृत्युं होतारकमृतादं हरि ओम् विषेत्वोर्येत्वा वायवस्तोपायवस्तु देवो वसुविदा प्रार्पयति श्रेष्ठतमाय कर्मणे अग्न आयाहि वीतये गुणानुविदातये निहोता सत्यपरिशी चामरवृता निहोत मंगलमाण्ड्य शन्नो देवी रविश्चय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शय्योरभिस्रवन्तु इवण्णति शय्योरभिस्रवन्तु नः अखिलपूर्णि कापाडि श्योर अदि तरह मंगलम ओरे निमिषं अग्न आयाहि वीतये गुणानुपदाते निहोता सच्चिबरिषि शन्नो देवी रविश्चय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शय्योरभिस्रवन्तु नः हरि ओम् अखिलपूर्णजन्मस्य मपङ्गादेलो ओके ओके ओमित्यग्रे व्याहरेति नमैति पश्चात् नारायणायेति पश्चात् ओमित्येकाक्षरं नमति द्वे अक्षरे नारायणायेति पञ्चाक्षराणि एतद्वै नारायणस्याक्षरपदं यो वै नारायणाक्षरपदमध्येति अनपपूर्वस्माभिः विन्दते प्राजापत्यं राजपोषङ्गोपत्यं ततो मृतत्वमश्यते ततो मृतत्वमश्यते इति एवेति हरि ओम् अखिलमूलजन्मस्य
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight to Sita Rama Kalyanam, the sacred marriage of Lord Ramachandra and Sita Devi. This has been performed for 1.7 million years. Lord Ramachandra appeared in the Treta Yuga 1.7 million years ago. This is how great the Vedic culture is. No one else can claim such a thing. And the Ramayana has been present since that time. Even the Ramayana was even before that. And today, we're still celebrating the same thing and the same culture called Sanatan Dharma. This is the real name of religion, or Varnashram Dharma, or Sanatan Dharma. The real name of so-called India is Bharat. It is not India. India is a false name given by the British to any country that they conquered and any people that they conquered. And the real name of the religion is not Hindu. Hindu is a mispronunciation by the Muslims of Sind. They couldn't say Sind, so they say Hind. And it became Hindu. Anything on the other side of the Sind River is Hindu. So we see that you are being identified and classified by your conquerors, not by the traditional names of your country or your religion. The real name of India is Bharat, and the real name of your religion is Sanatan Dharma, or Vedic Dharma. So tonight, we are thinking about the sacred vow of marriage. A vow is something that defines who a person is. And every one of you that has been married, you made the vow that there will never be any separation between us. And if you live a Krishna conscious life, you will become eternal couple in Vaikuntha or Goloka. There are eternal couples in the spiritual world. And they don't have to reproduce because everyone is eternal. And they don't have to worry about getting old, get sick, and die because they have a spiritual body. You have a spiritual body right now, but it's covered by the material body. And because of that, everyone is in an illusion of thinking, I am this body. But at no time were you ever this body. An illusion, the definition of an illusion, is to believe something that was never true. So you cannot say, I am this body, because I can ask you, which body are you? You began as a microscopic sperm. Is there anyone here who would deny that? And that microscopic sperm, as soon as it touched the ovum, it began to grow. And that microscopic sperm carries all the intellectual knowledge by which an entire human body can be produced. Now I'm going to ask you a question. There's so many ladies here. You ladies who have children, do you know how you made the body in your body? Does anybody know how they did that? You see, you don't know. It's a mystery. And that mystery is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But nobody's reading Srimad Bhagavatam. They're reading about how to become Microsoft certified or JavaScript certified. It's a bunch of nonsense. This is your culture. And if you become duped by modern education and let your children go to these schools, these high schools and colleges, it's a type of abuse of your child, because they're going to teach your child in a very short period of time, one, there's no God, because we cannot scientifically validate the existence of God. So for us, we don't talk about God. Now let me ask one of these kids, do they talk about God in your school? Absolutely not. They're not allowed to. Yes, what do you say, young lady? Okay. So you see, you're sending your children to a place where they're going to be not educated. Their knowledge is not education. Their knowledge is what you call tamasa buddhi, intelligence in illusion. And therefore, you have the original culture. Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita the first time 120 million years ago. He spoke it a second time over 2 million years ago. And he spoke it a third time 2 million years ago. And he spoke it another time 5,000 years ago. And it's the same Bhagavad Gita. It hasn't changed in 120 million years. That's science. But yet science today is changing every 10, 20, 30 years. So that's not knowledge. Knowledge is something that's eternally true in all frames of reference. It can be on the earth, it can be in the Devalokas, it can be in hell. So we see you have this knowledge, you have this culture, and you're ignoring it. And your country is getting spoiled by it. You're going to lose your country unless you wake up. You're going to lose Bharat. You're going to lose Vedic Dharma very quickly. The Muslims are already telling Hindus, leave India. This is our country now. They're saying it openly. The Christians are publishing maps of India showing how many parts of India they have control of. You don't realize what's going on. But here you have a chance in America to freely practice your religion and control the education of your kids. You should have complete control of the education of your kids. You are giving your kids to asuras for education. Now, these are hard things to hear about, but I'm going to speak the truth right now. The truth is that when you make a vow of marriage that we will never separate, and you break that vow, you're going to you have very serious dharmic, let's say, consequences because of that. Because you made that vow in front of the Brahmanas, you made that vow in front of Perumal, you made that vow in front of all your parents and relatives. If you break that vow, you're going to suffer terribly. in not only this life, but many future lives. And you have to think about what the effect will be on our children if my husband and I get divorced. This divorce is nonsense, and you're living in a state where you don't have to have a reason for divorce. Washington State is no reason for divorce. Anyone at any time can say, I want to get a divorce, and they will succeed. In other states, it used to be, and from some states still, you have to have a valid reason for a divorce. Washington State is one of the states where you don't need a valid reason. Anyone can ask for a divorce and they'll get it. So you see, the what you would call Asuric culture has taken over many parts of this country, and people are becoming fooled by it. When they go to the marriage counselor, very easily marriage counselors will say today, I think you need a divorce, madam, or I think you need a divorce, husband. So you see, we're living in an anti-culture, let's say, anti-culture environment. Now, we want to preserve that culture. That's why we're building our second temple now. It's going to open in a month and a half, 2 months. It's going to be a pure Vaishnava temple. It's twice as big as this temple, and it's right in the Spring District that you can reach from any part of Seattle very easily, because there's 3 highways crisscrossing our new temple. You have the 405, you have the I-90, and you have 520. So this is going to be a major step to unify all the Vaishnavas in the Seattle area. And you see, we do not differentiate based on the body or based on bodily identification. The real Vedic culture was explained in the ancient history, in the following episode. There was a young boy named Jabal, and there's a Jabal Upanishad. Jabal was a boy who had a single parent, only a mother. And he went to see a guru, Gautam Muni, and he said, Guruji, can you accept me as your disciple? He said, sure, but go and tell me what your gotra is. He said, I don't know. He said, then go home and ask your mother. He went home to ask his mother, and his mother started to cry, and she said, I don't really know who your father is. I was not leading a good life at that time. So he was shocked. He went back to see his guru, or who he wanted to have as guru, and he said, Gautam Muni, I don't know who my father is. I don't know what my gotra is. He said, okay. He said, I accept you as my disciple. He said, how come? He said, you are actually Brahmana because you told the truth. That's who a Brahmana is. There's no such thing as a Brahmana who's born in a Brahmin family but is not trained to be a Brahmana. Those are called fallen Brahmanas. You must be trained properly by bona fide gurus to become a genuine Brahmana, and it has to be based on Krishna's statement, Chaturvanya Maya Sristam Guna Karma Vibhagasaha. This is the 4th chapter, 13th verse of Bhagavad Gita, and it says that in the beginning of time, Krishna says, I established the 4 Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, based on quality and work. Now, in Kali Yuga, which began 5,000 years ago, the Brahmanas became corrupted, and still most of them are corrupted today. And because of their corruption, they changed one word of the Shastra. They changed Chaturvanya Mayastram Guna to Janma. And they created the false karmas, the false dharma, the Varnashram system that has caused havoc in so-called Hinduism. Many Hindus have left Vedic Dharma because of this injustice, basing your position as a Brahmana on birth rather than qualification. It's just like someone is a quack doctor. He puts up some sign, doctor, but he doesn't have a doctor's degree. If you go to him, you'll never get treated properly, and you'll probably end up getting sicker or dying. It's the same thing today. These bogus so-called brahmanas who only perform yajnas for material benefit. It's called karma kanda. That is ruining Hinduism, and adding on top of that the fact that the criterion for being a brahmana is simply based on birth, not on quality. So I've written a book, The Fatal Flaws of Modern Hinduism. Unless these flaws are corrected, you're going to lose the whole country of India. It's not going to be there anymore. It's going to be a Muslim country or a Christian country or a mixture. So we have to wake up. The whole purpose of this new temple is to unite all the Vaishnavas in the Seattle area and teach our kids how to be genuine, good citizens of this country, and how to be genuine bhaktas and bhaktins, serving Perumal with their love and devotion. This is the real purpose of human life. You have highly developed senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, and you have mind, intelligence, and false ego, or ego. These assets are to understand your relationship with God. It's not to become rich. It's not to engage in sense gratification. The purpose of the human life is sense purification. So that is Vedic Dharma, sense purification. Once you become purified, you become freed from the three modes of material nature, sattva, rajas, and tamas, and you attain transcendental goodness, or Suddha-sattva, and at that point you can understand who God is. Most people today are living in the modes of rajas and tamas, or passion and ignorance, and because of that, they're suffering unnecessarily. But anyone in the modes of rajas and tamas can never understand one thing about God. You have to come at least to the level of sattva guna to begin to understand shastric evidence, shastric knowledge. And that's not enough either. You must be promoted to Suddha-sattva, or transcendental goodness, to be completely free. At that point, your spiritual body begins to manifest. Your body right now, made of matter, is not who you are. How do you know? Because it's changing all the time. It's changed hundreds, thousands of times. See, you started as a sperm, you end up as an ovum with a sperm, and you become an embryo, and the embryo comes out, it's a little child. This is a miracle. You don't know how it's happening. Doctors don't know. The scientists don't know. Only Krishna knows, and he explains it in depth in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But no one's reading that, you see. So therefore, you have a chance now to wake up and save your children, save your genuine Sanatana Dharma culture, and proliferate it. If 1% of the population of Washington State becomes devotees, genuine devotees, you would be able to convince everyone. All you have to do is convince 1% of the population. How did the communists take over Russia? 1% of the population of ancient Russian kingdom became communists, and they were able to take over the whole country. The same thing could happen here in Washington State. If 1% of the population of this state becomes Krishna conscious, you'll be able to reestablish the Vedic Dharma as the real culture of this state. That should be our goal, and we can attain it, I guarantee you, if we sit down and engage in Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing the Shastra and repeating it. That's the way you learn. A baby is born in a family. In 5 years, that baby learns how to speak the language without knowing how to read, write, or anything. Simply by hearing the parents speak and repeating it, they learn. So this is the ancient technique, Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing, repeating, and then Smaranam, being able to remember. These are the three techniques of epistemology in the Vedic tradition. And we should learn to educate our children like this. You should be involved in the integral education of your kids. Otherwise, you are performing unwittingly abuse of your children by giving them to people who don't have your college to educate. Okay? So, therefore, in this new temple, we're going to have what's called the Varnashram College, teaching young kids how to attain the different positions in the Varnashram College. The Varnashram College is to develop people of high quality morality and ethics and devotion for God. This is the purpose of Varnashram education. So I'll stop right there. If you have a question, you can ask me right now. Wait and see what's going to happen in the near future if we unite and work together based on Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vishnu. Hearing, repeating, and then remembering knowledge about Vishnu every day. You have to balance your life. If you're working 8 hours and then you have to buy things and cook things and this thing and that thing, and you're spending maybe 18, 20 hours a day doing that, you still have 4 hours for spiritual life. Even if you sleep 10 hours, even if you work 8 or 10 hours, you still have 4 hours for spiritual life. You must use that time not wasted by talking on the cell phone, watching television, or playing on the computer, TikTok or whatever. It should use it for spiritual edification. And that spiritual education is available freely in this temple, in the next temple in Bellevue, and for everyone. There's no discrimination based on your gotra or based on your whether you have a gotra or you don't have a gotra. Anyone can be trained as long as they're a human being to be a genuine devotee. So thank you very much. I'll stop right there.
Yeah. Give Prabhu. As said, now this program is being always conducted by in coordination with His Holiness Sri Sri Srinivasa Ramanya Tridandi Chinnajayamar Swami. So Swamiji has started, a long time ago, the spiritual education as Prabhuji was talking about, and the service also, which is called VTC. And students who performed like a Sakshepa Ramayanam, they are the Prajna students. So Prabhuji has been saying that exactly what we are following and doing all those kind of things too. So, and we have a Utsav program that is coming up on Sunday in North Shore Performance Arts Center to show that when Manava Seva is a Madhava Seva. So 2 to 5, 6 o'clock at the time, particular time. Again, this is with the blessings of His Holiness Sri 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 Tridandi Srinivasa Ramanuja Chinnajayamar Swami's blessings only. This program happened in coordination and cooperation and support of Vedic Cultural Center. We are always truly grateful for all of you and so on. So thank you for being here. We will be concluding with Mangalam, and then we will get actually Tirtham here, and Prasadam will be distributed outside and as well as the downstairs also. While we are doing the Mangalam, Raghuji, are you going to come and do the Mangalam, Randi, Twaraga? Okay, while we are doing this one, this is a Pushpa, game, we call it as. I'm going to throw it, you can throw it to somebody else, just randomly, without having to hit anybody else. Pada padochu, no problem, time lopala, okay? They are going to say Mangalam, then you can sing a song, okay? Finish the Mangalam. Okay, here we go, the game begins. Randomly throw, not by yourself, you cannot keep it to yourself, okay? Randi, okay. Sorry, eట్లా పర్లేదు ఏదో ఒకటి ఏదన్నా ఆయా go పుష్పాలు తీసుకోండి మంగళం వేసేద్దాం పుష్పాలు వేసేద్దాం
चंद्राय जनकराजजा मनोहराय मामकाभीष्टदाय महितमङ्गलम् रामचन्द्राय जनकराजजा मनोहराय मामकाभीष्टदाय महितमङ्गलम् कोसलेन्द्राय मन्दहासदासपोषणाय वासवादिविनुत सर्वराय मङ्गलम् कोसलेन्द्राय मन्दहासदासपोषणाय वासवादिविनुत सर्वराय मङ्गलम् चारु कुङ्कुमोपेत चन्दनान चर्चिताय हार कटक शोभिताय भूरि मङ्गलम् चारु कुङ्कुमोपेत चन्दनान चर्चिताय हार कटक शोभिताय भूरि मङ्गलम् ललितरत्नकुण्डलाय तुलसीवनमालिकाय जल जल स्नेहाय चारुमङ्गलम् देवकी सुपुत्राय देवदेवोत्तमाय भवज गुरुवर्य भव्यमङ्गलम् पुण्डरीकाक्षाय पूर्णचन्द्रवदनाय विमलरूपाय विदितवेदान्तवेद्याय सुमुखचित्तकामिताय शुभगमङ्गलम् विमलरूपाय विविधवेदान्तवेद्याय सुमुखचित्तकामिताय शुभगमङ्गलम् रामदासमृदलहृदय तामरसनिवासाय स्वामी भद्रगिरिवराय सर्वमङ्गलम् रामदासमृदलहृदय तामरसनिवासाय स्वामी भद्रगिरिवराय सर्वमङ्गलम् रामचन्द्राय जनकराजजामनोहराय मामकाभीष्टदाय महितमङ्गलम् रामचन्द्राय जनकराजजामनोहराय मामकाभीष्टदाय महितमङ्गलम् महितमङ्गलम् महितमङ्गलम्
Once you have taken Tirtham, move back, all else will come over there. Yeah. Yes, sir. All right. It's a good idea to come this way and this way. Some of you are coming on this side, some of you are coming in this side, so that give me in the middle some aisle. I'll come over there. Yeah.
मिथिलानगरीपते भाग्यानां परिपाकाय भव्यरूपाय मङ्गलम् पितृभक्ताय सततं भ्रातृभिः सह सीतया नन्दिताखिललोकाय रामभद्राय मङ्गलम् त्यक्तसाकेतवासाय चित्रकूटविहारिणे सेव्याय सर्वयमिनां धीरोधाराय मङ्गलम् सौमित्रिणा च चाणक्या चापसेव्याय सदा भक्त्या स्वामिने मम मङ्गलम् दण्डकारण्याय खण्डितामरशत्रवे हृदराजाय भद्राय मुक्तिदायास्तु मङ्गलम् सादरं समरीदत्तफलमूलाभिलाषिणे सौलभ्य परिपूर्णाय सत्त्वोद्रिक्ताय मङ्गलम् वारिप्रमदनायाय महाधीराय मङ्गलम् श्रीमते रघुवीराय सेतोल्लङ्घितसिन्धवे जितराक्षसराजाय रणधीराय मङ्गलम् आसाद्य नगरी दिव्याम् अभिषिक्ताय सीतया राजाधिराज राजाय रामभद्राय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलाशासनपरे मुदाचार्य पुरोगमैः सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्यैः सत्कृतायास्तु मङ्गलम् हितसिद्धान्तप्रचारैकविहारणे श्रीमन्नारायणाचार्य स्वामिने नित्यमङ्गलम् यावत् प्रपञ्च सम्पूज्य चरणाय महात्मने श्रीमन्नारायणाचार्य राजाय मङ्गलम्। श्री रामचंद्र प्रभु की जय। सीता लक्ष्मण हनुमत समेत श्री रामचंद्र प्रभु की जय। जय श्री राम। जय श्री राम।
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा
हरे
Hare Krishna. So those who sponsored today, we thank them. I'm going to read out the names. Harish Aitaraju Prabhu and family, Subramshu Sahu Prabhu family, Srinivas Challan Prabhu family, Krishna Chaitanya Das Prabhu and family, Chandrasekhar and Lalita Sangubatla family, Mahendra Srinivas and Anita, and Anandaram Prabhu and family. They all sponsored for today's Sita Rama Kalyanam. And previously also we have a couple of people who actually given the long list I'm going to read. Krishna Kalyan and Nishala Devi, and Chaitanya Sundaradas and family, and Pathasarathi Srinivasan Prabhu and family, Damodar Prasad and Kavita Mani, Surendra Katari and family, and Mohan Vartakavi and family, and Krishna Kumar and Nagarajan Kumaran, Srinivas Tadipatri and Ishwarambas Somisetti family, Jaipal and Sushma Nalla family, and Sanjay Anand and Krishnadas and Rameshwari Mataji family, Srinivas Sharan Prabhu and family, and Vidyanath Prabhu and family. And then we have Manohar Prabhu from, he is also sponsored here, and Upender Sandadi Manjula family, Anil Kumar Tamineni and Sandhya Nandan, Rama Devi Dakarapu and Suresh Kumar, Sri Lakshmi and Sahasra, Ayan Damodar Hari Prabhu, Nandarani Priya and Jayanti Gupta Anisha, Nitin and Ashok and Tanishri, and Krishna Murali Prabhu, Sakhi Priyadasi, Samyukta and Arjun, and Sridhar Reddy Prabhu. We thank you everyone for sponsoring the Sita Rama Kalyanam. Now come in order, take darshan, take tirtham and prasadam, and have nice feast downstairs. Thank you again for participating in the Sita Rama Kalyanam.